Ooh, it's time. Ooh, we're back. We're back. And today, for today's intro, there is, in fact, what? Wait, where's you? What? Where's you? God damn it! One of these days, I'll have Una here for the intro. One of these days, man. All right. Welcome back to stream. Welcome back to the VOD. My friends, it is time. We are on officially Friday. No more unofficial quiet quitting, checked out of work Thursdays. Today is actual Friday. And what is unique about Friday? It is not only the day before the weekend. It is also the day after D&D Day, which was yesterday, which we all know is Thursdays. Why? Maybe because Critical Role plays on Thursdays. Does that influence it? I don't know. Is it because people don't want to waste their Friday, but they still want to play D&D towards the end of the week, but they also don't want to commit to anything on a weekend? Well, that's why I play D&D on a Thursday. So, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the VOD. For what? Ooh, Jesus. What did I do? All right. I don't want to start this day off scuffed, man. Come on, bro. God, Ninja Dog, dude. I keep thinking I'm hearing her up here, and I'm like, oh, no, I guess she's downstairs, probably wrapped in a blanket. But yes, I played D&D yesterday. It was a brief game. One of our players had to arrive late. There was an issue, and he had to be a half hour late, so we didn't quite get into it. Because I'm not the kind of person that likes to jump into D&D immediately. You know, like, I know every group's different. How long do you average, I guess, the average person, the average D&D group, take to get into the game once you sort of all meet up on Discord? Because for us, it's about 15-20 minutes. I like to just say hi to everybody. You know, hey, what's going on in your lives? What's happening? Because here's the thing. My D&D players are not my friends. All right? No. Nope. They're my players, not my friends. Because I don't talk to, like, all of them except for Ella outside of D&D. I'm like, I'll send a message. I'll be like, hey, what's going on? And I get ghosted. So I got to catch up with them, all right? Wednesday is D&D day for me too. Wednesday's a good day as well. Wednesday or Thursday, I think, are the optimal D&D days. Friday is daring. I would actually kind of like to bring back a Friday D&D day. It would have to be a really good game for me to do that. I know that sounds awful, but it would have to be a really great game with great people that I'd be willing to give it my Friday for. 15 to 30. Yeah, 15 to 30 is good. We have an hour and 15 with tech checks for a live stream. That's actually, if you have a reason to sit around and chat and catch up, that's good too. So that seems like a long time. I feel like you might get distracted. You might get pulled away from the importance of the adventure that you're about to go on, you know? Imagine talking to people. I tried once, Ashy, and it was awful. I'm done. You know? What? I can't wait, Ashy, for my AI friend group to develop from, you know, Mid-Journey, Chat GPT, whatever, where I can go log on to VR chat and go into my special private VR chat room where all my best friends are actually waiting there. That's what I can't wait for. So, no, it was a good game. We played a little bit short, but the party went for fortune readings. And one of my players had his fortune critically read. And I made a mistake here because I rolled the dice behind the scenes for them to see what kind of fortune reading they would get. I should have had them roll the dice, mostly because obviously I want the fortune reading to be ominous. That's why I decided to do it behind the DM screen, you know, was to roll a die in secret. But I realized that them rolling their own die would also indicate more, it would be more interactive. And while it would indicate whether their fortune is good or bad, or like how correct it was or how accurate, which I kind of didn't want, I realized that I could sacrifice the mechanics of the encounter for just being a little more interactive. So, but one of my players critically critically fortuned, there you go, which gave him a destiny point. That's right. I gave him the very first destiny point of the game. So, we're gonna see how that works. I don't know. Roughly about 30 minutes before our D&D time, my home group has lovingly referred to us lizards and basements. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that makes sense. I like that. That's good. Yeah. I wonder, listen, I need to figure out a better schedule for me and my friends, because currently we play at 7 my time to 10 my time. That's only 3 hours, bro. And once somebody is a half hour late, then that's 2.5 hours. And then when you're just kind of like chatting, saying what's up, getting into it a little bit, then that's 15 minutes. So now you're playing for just over 2 hours. And like, I am used to playing, my best D&D games are like 4 to 6 hours. You know, like 4 to 6 hours is really where I'm the most pleased, I think. So I don't know, we'll figure something out at some point in time. I'm not quite sure. We do have to get all the facilities out so we can focus on the game, and my group needs it. That's fair. Yeah, I guess also if you're performing it, if there's some sort of level of scrutiny placed onto you, then that also makes it hard. But also, you know, I did get, after the game, I rolled off the winners of the sketch today from Discord. Probably the last Discord we're gonna do for a while. I'll probably go back to Twitter for next week or something like that. But I roll off some winners. I've got some cool ideas, so today should be a cool day of request streams, and we'll see how it goes. Been a very long time since I watched your stream. Just want to say you look great. Thank you, Sneak Thief. I appreciate that. You know, that means a lot. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. Welcome back to the stream. Good to have you. Hope your journeys and adventures have been fantastic and fortunate. So there you go, dude. What's up? Critical fortune, you gonna die? Well, I did tell one of my players who got a very high fortune. Wasn't critical, it was like an 18 or whatever. I did tell him that there would be a moment where he has an opportunity to obtain nobility. I left it ominous of what that nobility was. Nobility of title, nobility of sacrifice, nobility of action. And I have plans for his story, so we'll see how well that, you know, works out or whatever. You know, can you expand it to 4 hours? Unfortunately not, Cow, because my players are in the Pacific time zone. So 7 p.m. for me is 6 p.m. for them. And them getting home from work in time for 6 p.m. is actually pretty difficult for them. And then we play till 10 my time. And then I have to like get Una ready and out and whatnot, and then get ready for bed. And I like to be in bed by 11 because I wake up at 6:45 every day. So it was fine back in the day when I was staying up late and being a degenerate. You know, when I was staying up to like midnight or 1 every day, it wasn't that big of a deal. Just to play late for my D&D game. We play till 11 typically, which we might go back to. I might sacrifice an hour of sleep 1 day a week, or maybe make Friday a bit of a rest day at the gym. The thing, I really like the gym on Fridays. It's really quiet, it's really empty, it's really chill. So I don't want to give that up. So I don't know. We got to figure out something better. I was thinking about like making, when I do my like sort of more West Marchy style, like sign up, play if you want type of D&D game. Whoever can make it, whoever can't. I was thinking about setting a set time like 6 p.m. my time, which is 5 p.m. PST, to like, you know, 10 my time, which is 9 PST, or something along those lines, you know. And doing a good 4-hour block, and like we're gonna start at you know, at 6, and we'll get it, and whoever's there is there, and whoever can't make it or is late, like they'll just waddle in. The nice thing is when you have a larger group is you can have somebody be late or absent, and it's not a big deal. You know, it's also nice to have really active players, because like, you know, I have one. Ella's a very active player when she needs to be. She's the chameleon. She's the master. So she's as active or passive as she needs to be. And then I have another fairly active player, and then 2 fairly passive players that if I don't like point at them and say the world is like addressing you in some way, they won't speak for the entire night. You know, for the most part, which is fine. But if you have more active players, then you can have more people missing. But like, if you had your group of 4 and you started the game and one of your 2 active players is going to be late, and then it's just 1 active player and 2 passive players kind of twiddling their thumbs, that's tough. So I think it's probably easier to do that style of game if I had more players. So I'd probably have to run a game of at minimum 6 and most 8, which I actually think is actually really doable. I don't have a problem with 8-person D&D. 8 to 10 is a challenge that I like. I don't get frustrated or exhausted, and I find people are pretty into it, you know. But it does change the game obviously a little bit. What's up, Mitako? Evan too hot? I'm trying, dude. I'm trying, Alaire. I'm hitting it. I appreciate that. No ability, the opportunity to not play a bill. Nope, not that kind, unfortunately. That'd be great. What's up, Bylong? But to go nap. What did you think of the ideas that didn't win? I read through all of them and I liked them. I'm thinking about doing something slightly different, Minako, for the ideas, because I don't want people feeling like they can't use the same idea again. It's all random. I just roll it, you know, every week, unless it's I will re-roll an exceedingly dumb idea. If somebody's trying to troll me, then I'll re-roll it, obviously. But for the most part, I just re-roll it, and there's lots of ideas that get passed over that I think is unfortunate, and I don't like that. So I'm thinking about creating a channel on Discord where people can post their request, more or less, and I'll like always roll from the channel, and you can only have 1 request in at a time. And if I complete your request, I'll delete your message and you can make a new request, something like that along those lines. So you don't have to like re-request the same thing or a different thing or whatever. I haven't quite figured out how to do this yet, but especially because it's not a on Friday requests, because that's a bit hard to do. We wouldn't get nearly as many done. It'd be a little more scuffed if I was sitting there worrying about like poses and, you know, anatomy and stuff on the day of. So I did that. I spent about a half hour doing that last night after D&D. So I guess I was up late anyway. Often stuck between staying up late with friends or experiencing a nice thing and quiet in the morning. Yeah, I wish that I didn't have to get up so early. I mean, I stream at 10 my time, so it's not like I have to be here at 10. But definitely I think that the morning is the only time I can budget for the gym. So it'd be nice to like stay up late or whatever, and hang out like I used to, or play games, or hang out with friends, or whatever, you know, in the evening. But man, if I don't go to the gym at 7 in the morning, I won't go. It's just not gonna happen that day. You know, I'm not an afternoon or evening gym goer, so I gotta prioritize that, unfortunately. Jimmy Quad on Friday. I'm surprised that it's not when all your fellow gym bros go train to be ready for the weekend. No, I don't know. My gym it's like it's an expensive gym, more expensive than it should be. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's expensive, more expensive than most gyms, but it is kind of like it's in this like rich old people area of the city. So there's just like all these like wealthy elderly, you know, or senior people, or like, you know, people in their middle age and whatnot. There's not a ton of young people at my gym. There's like obviously young people at my gym, but not a ton. There's like, it's like a more evenly distributed number between young and you know, my age, and then middle age, and then senior. So yeah, not a lot of that culture, I guess, out here. I think people who are more into the bodybuilding thing, or the hard bodybuilding and hard powerlifting. My gym still has that kind of stuff in it, but they probably go to a powerlifting specific gym or a bodybuilding like specific gym, so they're part of that kind of culture. So no, it's pretty quiet on Fridays. It does, it does get busy in the evenings with like the normal crowd, like with the younger crowd, but the mornings is really when the older crowd shows up exclusively. So yeah, not much chance over here in Europe for what? For D&D? The day off, I could probably watch a stream. What's up, Elysium? Good to see you. We wish I had like 2 more players. 3-player group is great for its speed, but it's definitely a juggle. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try it with a 1-player group and see how it goes on Tuesday, which I'm very nervous about. But you know, I don't know. I almost find that it's easier if it's like 1 to 2 or 6 to 8. You know, like it's weird. Like 3 is tough. 3 is tough. It's very tough unless all 3 of the players. So like I played a game with Mendari, with Saturn, and with Ella, and we played with 3 players. But Mendari, Saturn, and Ella are all super engaged, super, you know, vocal, forward momentum players. So it was fine. But playing with 3 can be tough. 4 is hit or miss. It you know, I would really like to get 2 more players for my Thursday game, but you know, it's complicated bringing people into that group and whatnot, and it's the whole thing. But I'd really like to see 2 more players in that game, because I think it would do better to have like 5 or 6. But 8 is like a good number of, if everyone has a respectful, like, sort of, if everyone's friends, 8 is really good. It's tough to get a friend group that large, but like that's like the high school D&D group or the college D&D group, where you have a lot of people who are sort of forced into a small place for periods of time, will then become naturally friends, you know, as a larger group. And so you get your group of 8 friends to play D&D, and you know, or 9 or so as the DM, and it's great. It's fantastic. Some of the best games I've ever played were like high school era games that had, you know, how many did we play with? We played with, the biggest game we played with for a long time, because we played some big games, but the biggest game we played for a sustainable amount of time, like at least a couple semesters, was probably seven, I guess, was 7. And 7 was fine. Yeah, 7 was just fine. It had no problems, you know, because we also had a good we also had a good like mixture of types of players, right? You had your players that would, I mean, it's gonna sound super disrespectful, but it wasn't, trust me. You'd have your players who during combat would be playing their Nintendo DSs, playing Pokemon, and then it's their turn and they're like, wait, sure, what am I doing? And then one of the other guys would be like, hey, can you move here and then cast Firebolt on that guy and then like throw me your healing potion? And she's like, oh, sure, okay, I'll do that. You know, great, cool, let me know it's my turn again. And she goes back to playing her 3DS or whatever, and you're like, sure, you know. She's not like bored or trying to get it to like end or whatever. And if I said like something narrative happened, you know, she'd be like, oh, what's going on? But then I also have the players who, you know, were super into combat, but when it was time to like dramatically roleplay through the forest, I don't know, fairy encampment, they kind of zone out a little bit. They weren't there for the narrative so much as they were for the combat and the tactical stuff. So they'd kind of be, you know, on the edge or listening, contributing once in a while here or there, but like mostly again playing like a PSP or something. Like wait, ask, and like I totally don't think you should ever be playing a video game or whatever at your D&D group if you're online, especially. But it's something different about when it's in person. Everybody's just kind of chilling and you're all playing this D&D game, and it's just like, I don't know, it kind of works out. It worked out for us. So I didn't ever really mind it. It was good. 7 players, 7, 8 players is real good if you have the right kind of players, you know. People are like willing to watch the other people in the group be on stage for whatever moment it is. I don't know. Good morning. Did I see your new dog? No, you got. What do you mean new dog? Ashley, is this just gonna be a picture of Ulner in like some kind of a weird like avatar, some shit? Like, why do I feel like this is gonna have nothing to do with a dog? I'm incredibly concerned, Ashley, but no, I haven't seen your dog. What's up, Nix? A players can get difficult, especially when one of them just wants to empty out a bag of beans and create chaos. That sounds specific. Stream Talk's been called out. Wait, okay, hold on. Stream topics. Found this on my porch. I think it was abandoned. It's cute though. That's not. It's not a. That's a. Okay. Cute dog. What's wait, it's hissing? Dogs don't hit. Do dogs hiss? Is this a D&D thing I'm unaware of? The hissing dog? Okay, look. Be careful. That's a great dog. I'm not gonna listen. It is currently a fish meta this week, not a dog meta, so I can't rate your dog. but it's pretty good. I'm happy for you, Ashy. It's Ulner's snake model for her new design is, what did I see? What did I say? I knew I had, I'm clairvoyant at this point. This is disappointing, man. Can we keep it? No, stop. We're not keeping the strange hissing snake thing that came into the guild hall, all right? There's no more pets in the guild hall. All right? No more pets. We're done. It's over, okay? We're not adding any more pets to the guild hall. Not even Yuna. It needs a home. Stop. I don't care. I don't care. Send it on the streets. First time I ever DM'd was for 8 players, ran a module and almost TPK'd them at level 1. Had no clue what I was doing. That's great. That's what you do, man. Look, I think that there are the kind of person that needs to be like told that DMing is like accessible and you can get in there and it's like no pressure and like the kind of person you need to like coax into DMing slowly. Often not the best kind of DM anyway. You know, there's so many people that are willing to just jump into a module and run it that make for usually the best DMs down the road. So it's kind of stuff I like to hear. Let's keep the danger noodle doggo. We're not keeping a danger noodle dog. It doesn't bite. It does bite all in there. Look, it's got teeths. I can see the little teeths. What do you mean? What do you mean, Ulner? I saw some sort of tease on Twitter. I don't know if there's been any big reveals yet, Ulner, but I'm very excited. I'm emotionally invested in it. All right. The group of the game store is an interesting group. A couple are serious and cooperative. One wants to rage all the time, and the other is a stereotypical player that has 20 characters, is more interested in doing their own thing than anything else. That's a group that needs to play 3 different D&D games. Yeah, that's, in my opinion, that group needs to play 3 different D&D games. Is you're not happy playing in a group together. Y'all want to play. Listen, the people who want to play, you know, who are good collaborative, cooperative players, they can play one game. The player that wants to rage all the time should go play League of Legends. All right, we have video games for that. You know, like here's the thing. One thing that we did as a society, and this is more of a commentary on society in the modern age, you know, from my enlightened perspective, but we got rid of sort of the mental asylum at a certain point in time, right? And that was bad. That was bad. Obviously, mental asylums not the greatest places. But that was bad. And now what do we do with people who are mentally ill? We put them on League of Legends. We say, hey, here you go. Here's League of Legends. You can queue up. You can get, you know, good at a game, maybe hard stuck silver for the rest of your life. And you can just stay in there and rage at people all day and, you know, let it out. So we have League of Legends for a place for those kind of players, Atari. And then the one who's more interested in doing their own thing, I think that if you really loved that player, if you cared for that player, Atari, you guys would buy them a book, buy them like a ruled, you know, like lined book, whatever, like a couple of like notebooks, and just a stack of pens, and you'd give them to them, and you'd be like, hey, here you go. Here's the beginning of your novel career. Have a wonderful time. Good luck, because you won't see it at your D&D anymore. All right. And I think it's a nice middle ground, you know? I can struggle with any group size collaboration. It was in a 5-player game, but all 5 players wanted a single-player experience with 4 faceless henchmen. Oh, that's really tough. I've never had it to be that bad, Ashy, to have like my group of only those people, but I have had groups that have had those people in it, and excuse me, I identify them real fast and block them out. Also brokered the idea of a campaign end for my group that's been running for about 3 years to mentally prep them despite being ways off. They seem to understand that there was a lot not wanting to think about letting their characters go. Look, I don't know. I think as a good DM, you end a campaign and never make your players feel like the game is over. You know? I think that's a good. I think that's a mark of a good DM is a DM that gives players all of the sort of like cathartic storytelling they want to do after the fact, and then you also say to them, like, one thing that I found that cure, like, mends a lot of broken hearts at the end of long D&D games, I'll say, like, hey, I really love your characters, guys, and I really would love to hear how you know, keep going in the world. So, like, if you guys feel like it, you know, if you wouldn't mind, or if you want to at all, do some writing about your character, I'd love to read it and figure out what your character was doing, you know, if they go on any other adventures or if they settle down or like what they do. Like if you want to write, if you want to give me like stacks and stacks of stories about that, like I'd love to read it. And I often see players typically indulge a little bit into that, but the permission to indulge greatly into that I often find is enough to make them feel like oh yeah, this isn't over. And then they get to kind of choose how much they want to put into it, which is often very little, because let's face it, they're lazy and they want to go play Baldur's Gate 3 again. But at least they're not brokenhearted over that, because they don't feel like they're being told that their story is over by any sort of, you know, great force in the world. They get to tell more stories for that if they want, and the people will care about their stories. Because it's one thing to be a novel writer, it's another thing if nobody reads your novel. But if one person reads your novel and thinks like that was pretty cool, I think that does a lot, you know? There's like a 80-20 rule with that. You get 80% of the satisfaction of writing a novel if like only if like one person reads it, as opposed to like the last 20 comes from, you know, it being famous or whatever. I don't know how it goes, man. I'm not a novelist. Co-DMing with my new game with my husband, and we're doing it on Foundry. So I spent the week obsessing over how to make interactive landing page. Foundry can do so much stuff, but it's almost too much. It is too much. My Foundry is bare bones. I spent $50 on Foundry basically to have a rolling app with a map in the background, so that I didn't have to be on Critical or on Roll20 anymore. Yeah, I'm very pleased to not be on Roll20 anymore. But I still haven't used Foundry in a lot of the ways that I should or could. Mostly because I just don't have the time, and I'd love to have the time one day, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. So there's so many people like that. It's worth it. It is worth it. I agree, Mel. I agree. All right. So we got to do some requests today. I said this week that we'd be drawing some characters, doing some sketches. I've prepped a couple of them. I'm going to plan on trying to do 3, but we're going to start with 2. And if I'm feeling good about that, I'm not going to rush at all. Because last week I kind of rushed a little bit, even though we went a little bit over. So the first one. The first sketch of the day, the first requester, the first person, after I rolled my large D20. I didn't roll a D20. Listen, I need to confess, I used a random number generator because there was an odd amount of numbers, I believe, or a strange amount of numbers. I had to use a random number generator. I couldn't use an actual die. I know that being the husband of Blackwood Dice, you'd think I'd have a die for every number. You'd think I'd have a D1, a D3, a D5, a D7, you know, and everything up to like 50. You'd think. But alas, this is not something that Ella has done for me yet. So I use random number generator. But the first person that won was an acolyte. An elven acolyte who worships deities of death and provides comfort for those who are scared to pass on. Teaching others is just another chapter in life. And so I did some little pre-sketches yesterday. I did my little that. I did my little this. I did my little whatever. So we're gonna draw an elven acolyte and a cool dude. So maybe somebody. I'm not sure if anyone will know whose ruffian sketch this is, but we're gonna draw our acolyte. I did a little base sketch. We're gonna figure out some cool details, some good shit, make it look I don't know, like comforting medium between the spirit world and the whatever. But also acolytes are kind of spooky, so I don't know, you gotta bridge the gap between spooky and not. Either way, we're gonna do some sketches today. So with that, I'm thinking I actually want to work on our sketch layer. I think I want to develop sketch layers out instead today, instead of going full into a, you know, like proper sketch, you know, frame, what the fuck? Frame and then under sketch and then over sketch and blah 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 and all that shit. I think I want to kind of do it a little bit differently. I think we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to work on it. We're going to build a sketch up instead of drawing something over top of the sketch. So, but yeah, basic details in here. Basic symmetry down. We just got to refine everything. Also, I've been thinking a lot about the characters that we are going to need for the NPC sort of pool that I want to make, you know. And so at a certain point in time, I might need to start requesting characters that are like, hey, I need some like non-humans, or like I need like a tiefling, you know, like tiefling NPCs or whatever, or this or that or something. You know, I might need to start doing stuff like that. So we'll see. I'm gonna work in symmetry just a little bit for this, just to get some of her expression and stuff right, because I want to make her sort of like looking serious, but I want to soften the seriousness a little bit, if that's possible. So we're gonna try and do a little bit of that before we start working today. But anyway, I'm excited for the pool, the library, and the whole pool of ideas we have been really nice and really cool to look through. But I want to like create almost like a request forum people can kind of get into, and then hopefully have enough that people can use for their games, ideally. Wait, we're also talking about Foundry. Ask how to make you 20 d20s, but each die is a single number on each side. One die for one, other for two, and so on. So use a bingo number. Wait, to roll, that's not. Do you know how difficult that's gonna be, bro? Really? You have any molds that will have to make for that? Do you know how much that would cost? Let's do it. Thank you for the follow, Coop. I appreciate it. Welcome. How you doing? Good morning to you, my friend. Elven Acolyte. I kind of dig it when I don't get like a D&D class description. Like a lot of people with their NPCs tend to want to throw in NPC like classes, which is fine. But I kind of dig it when I get a request that's like not in that kind of vein, you know? It's very much like a hey, I've got this I don't know, guild leader or merchant or whatever. That I find we get really cool ideas for as well. So we're gonna do some cool hair ornamentation. I did a little bit of a sketching last night, but we're gonna really refine this and make it look cool. Make it look kind of like a religious feature. You know, maybe it's important culturally to them. I don't know. We're just gonna try and make interesting looking portraits for all of these, and hopefully they fit within the framework of what the requester actually wanted, and then hopefully they also add something unique to our library of NPCs for people to use for their games, you know? That's really the goal at the end of this. Everything is in service to that. Almost, Oda. You almost got a green dragon check. You're very close. I would have stopped what I'm doing today, by the way, just so you know, and drawn a green dragon. I would have stopped today entirely, paused everything to draw a green dragon, and then resume our requests. You know I always honor that, but alas, my friend, sometimes you get it, and sometimes you eternally get got. Forgot to submit anything because I'm easily distracted, which is kind of why I want to make it a more of a request-like channel that you can drop your ideas into, so that I can like not have people feel like they anxiously need to do it between Wednesday and Friday. That'd be just great. I don't know. I'm gonna do my best, all right? I never want to try and pretend like I have all this down in a way that is you know, proper and gonna make sense from the beginning. We're always learning, we're always getting better, and so I have to have the same sort of view with my own you know, stream events and things like that. I think I want to do some pretty like cool jewelry on her as well. You don't just give me large elven acolyte ears without the strong desire to place jewelry on them. So I'm not going to deny myself It's like drawing a big, hairy, sweaty man and not putting armor on him. What's the point, right? Drew Elysium said there's a ton of of security knowing that I'm not going to run out of space for tokens, maps, news, etc. I'm missing some context because I never read messages that are responding to or adding someone else, because generally those are for somebody else, but like a message not is like directed towards me or chat in general. So I feel like I'm missing the context. But if we're talking about how good Foundry is, then yeah, I agree. Foundry's awesome. I've enjoyed my Foundry game much more than my Roll20 game. Even though Roll20's simplicity does make it a little more accessible in some ways, I do think the Foundry is still a much better tool. It feels to me like learning Photoshop. It's like worth the struggle, you know? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume it is, all right. Even though I am not the best like Foundry, I don't know, endorsement out there, because I just don't know shit. I don't know what's going on with it. Very few people think about shading the eyeball. That's a big mistake. I still... Oh, you do owe me a green dragon. Shit, bro. That's right. That's okay. I think you've done enough to support the claim of the green dragon's existence that I think you're good. I think you owe me nothing. We're good. That's a good exercise ideas for others to draw up their own style or ideas. That's true, actually. Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't necessarily just have to be for me. It is fun to sort of jump in, see what other people like. It's one of the values of drawing like fan art or something, right? Like fan art has a great amount of value behind it in that you are opening yourself up to a different sort of like design style or theory from another artist that you don't know. They might approach things very differently from you in a very like unique way, and it's very valuable for you as an artist to jump onto that and to see, you know, what and how somebody handles certain ideas like armor or fasteners or robes or materials or whatever it is, you know. I think it's very valuable. It's a good exercise. The problem is when all you do is draw sexy withers, you don't really get on any of that. So I'm not the best example here, but you know, I'm working on it. A couple fan art projects I'm working on right now that I'm slowly doing in my free time whenever I'm sort of done with work for the night and I want to kind of chill out and do something else for a bit. I have a couple of those projects that I'm working on. One is me drawing a couple of VTuber friends of mine. Another is me drawing some characters from some games that I want to have. I am drawing some Final Fantasy 7 and 14 characters. I'm working on this piece that I really want to get done before Dawn Trail comes out of Thancred. And fucking what's her name? Shit, Thancred and the gremlin. Kirill. There, yeah, Thancred and Kirill. So we'll see if that gets done in time. I don't know. Is that Portrait of the Green Dragon on Discord at all? Somewhere. I haven't deleted shit, but somewhere. And well, let me read this SMH. Wait, what do you... What I let you read? Don't cancel me, Ashy. Not over this. At least make it over something I said about VTubers. what, bro? I don't even know what you're mad about. I probably deserved it though, let's face it. I've seen the trend. Wait, seen lots of TikTokers wanting to ask Larry to make Withers romanceable. There's an add-on, isn't there? For romanceable Withers? Like, I'm pretty sure there is, isn't there? Am I mistaken? You know, I'm gonna do some cool, like, symmetrical, like, makeup designs on her, I think. I want to do some cool, like, face designs or whatever. And I wanted to give her the Padme Amidala lip tattoo thingy. I was thinking about that last night. And try some shit and see how it looks. You're the Padme, man. Never look back. Cat. Cat. We Gucci. We Gucci. We got him there. Dude, I love how, like, how it feels to make these sketches when it's like you're working on the sketch layer itself as opposed to making a new layer for it. I don't know, I've been trying to be more confident in doing that recently, but I always like default to not wanting to for various reasons, so fuck it. Today we're going all the way. We're doing it properly. We're gonna make messy, honest, cool looking sketches that should have a little more soul to them than some of the work that I do for other characters. I want Fridays to always be a growing experience, and if there's something I want to do and I want to push for it, Fridays are the days to do it, so that's what we're doing. Not sure about there being mods for it. I just got lost in the sea of mods people have made for the game. Yeah, I've been contemplating doing a second playthrough. I started a second playthrough a while ago, but it was as challenging as I thought it would be. A lot of the issues that I thought would come with a second playthrough did definitely pop up. You know, a lot of the whole issues of I don't want to read the same things over again, or I don't want to have to go do certain things in the game again. It just feels like a chore. So I got like a couple hours into it and then stopped. So we'll see if I carry through on it or not. I don't know if I will. But I did start playing Rogue Trader. I didn't play any last night because you know, I D&D. But tonight I'm probably going to play some Rogue Trader. Fridays are my house cleaning day, so I'll have to get that done this afternoon. And then tonight, I might actually take tonight off and just play games. We might see about doing some of that. Let's say what's up. I watch some documentaries or interviews or something, or podcasts on the other monitor. Play a little Age of Empires. I've been craving podcasts and science stuff recently. I'm watching a lot of that. So I'll probably get in on some of that tonight. I don't know. Got a boogie to get Dead Disappointment, but she looks amazing already. All right, Mel. I'll try and do a good job for your NPC, and we'll see if we can get something that works by the end of the stream. So have a great rest of your day. And I'll catch you later. Maybe on Tuesday for the game. Who knows? Maybe later today. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's all good. Back from lunch. Welcome back, Nix. Haven't heard reviews of Dragon's Dogma 2. I have seen lots of people wanting, like, talking about how great the game is. I don't really know much about what Dragon's Dogma is, to be honest. It doesn't really look like my kind of game when I've seen, like, screenshots or whatever. Is Dragon's Dogma a Souls-like game? Is it considered in that sort of category, or am I mistaken here? Because that's where I sort of had an impression of it, is that it's kind of Souls-like. And I am not really about that boogie. All right, her hair is gonna be super fancy and symmetrical and whatever. We gotta do the basic parts of it, and then we'll go into it and hatch it out, and hopefully it'll look good. I want to spend more time on these. I was dissatisfied last week or the week before of how quick I wrapped up most of the sketches, and I didn't feel like I got anything really super good done for them. They were just kind of like, you know, cool character sketches, but ultimately kind of meh. I felt bad. No one was like unhappy about their sketch or whatever, but I felt a little dissatisfied with it. So I wanna take my time this week and do a real good job if I can, so that I feel like it's more something deserving of a spot in the library. And that's why I only have 2 on the screen. I have 3 prepared, so if we have time, but I don't want to like bring up 3 sketches and someone's like, wait, I think that's my character, and then not do it. That's just disappointing. So, you know what I mean? Can't be 70 though. It's $70. Dragon's Dogma is? Really? It's perfect no matter what because you're awesome. I appreciate you, Mel. Thank you. Thank you for the lurk. $70 for that game? So that'd be like, what, 90 Canadian? People say this, but it's not. It's more like Monster Hunter. Let's see. Dragon's Dogma 2, right? So we're looking at. Let's look at a screenshot. Definitely looks more Monster Hunter-y. I like the art style. I like the design. I wonder who makes it. March 22nd. I mean, it looks like my kind of jam. I really did want to play a Monster Hunter game, but I don't really like the look of Monster Hunter games. So this is definitely my jam. I would yeah, shit, man. I'd love to give this a try. $70 or 90 Canadian, that's a bit much though. I mean, it's not a bit much really. It's what games are now. The problem is that it's just tough to make those kind of games work for me, you know? A game that's $90. Like shit, dude. I got my hair done yesterday and it was $70 after tip and everything. It's like fuck, man. Everything's just so expensive now. So I don't know about this $90 game. I mean, I just bought Rogue Trader. It was on sale. I bought it for $50 Canadian. That was cool. You know, I'm good with that for a little bit, I suppose. I do kind of want to be part of the hype of a new game once in a while. You know, I want to buy the new game when it's new and play it with everybody and have the cool game to talk about with everyone, so we can all talk about the cool game. But a lot of times the new cool game hasn't really appealed to me. Like the new Monster Hunter wasn't like super, I wasn't super into it. I don't know. Final Fantasy 16 looked really good, but of course you need a PlayStation for that. Other new games, I don't know. The new Elden Ring DLC looks great, but I still haven't played Elden Ring. It's not really my jam, but I hear it's everybody's jam, so I don't know. Maybe it is. If I need to give it a chance, give it a shot, you know? Just try it out. I miss playing games, dude. I miss playing like the new stuff. But what I really miss more than anything else is playing the new RPGs. And I don't really have like a lot of people that I know that play JRPGs. You know, like who plays like a new Star Ocean game when it comes out? Or who knows somebody that plays like those games? Like the new Valkyrie Profile game that came out a while ago, or I don't know. Any NIS America releases or whatever, dude. It's just harder and harder to find people that are interested in those kind of games. I used to have a little core community of JRPG nerds around me when I was a young buck, but they all kind of grew out of it, so. But I still want to play like the new game, you know? I want to see the new game when it comes out. I want to play the new game when it comes out. I want to try the new thing. There's value in being part of the hype, I think. People try and like sometimes make themselves seem so advanced and intelligent and like I am not. You know, to me it's like people who think that being part of the hype is like something that they are above are often all the kind of people that are also like they claim that they are that advertising doesn't work on them. And I'm very suspicious of them when they say that. So when somebody tells me they're above the hype sort of games, I'm very suspicious of that too. The only issue with the game is they made it pay to win for things that you can grind out for free. You can only have one save. I play it. No, I've never played Dragon's Dogma. I will just want my friends who were excited to be happy with it. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Standard AAA game. Trash launch and other issues. Yeah, all right. What's up, Motion? This is commission. Anywhere to check that out. This is not a commission. This is a request. So on Fridays, I take requests from people. If you have an NPC or something that you want drawn for your world, I let people enter in either Discord or Twitter or something like that. And this week it was Discord. And I pick a couple randomly, and I do a couple of character sketches for people. The whole idea is to create a library of NPCs that I can sort of use for my games and for other people's games. And, you know, why make all the NPCs just out of my own head when I can get people to request stuff that's useful for their games? So, not really a commission, but still a request. Sounds like the DLC is intentionally bad. That's why you can't get all the items in the first hour of the gameplay, but they're forced to day one DLC, so they made it all garbage no one would buy. Really? The investors would stop demanding day one DLC? That's actually hilarious. That's actually hilarious. I'm now intrigued. Which company makes Dragon's Dogma? This isn't like a Konami thing, is it? Can't be, right? Capcom? Okay. Capcom it is. Got it. Well, that's fair, I suppose. I just want some games, man. I just want some games that make me want to play them. Makes me feel like I'm playing D&D. That's why I bought Rogue Traders, because it's like another Baldur's Gate. The problem is I don't think I'm smart enough to play Rogue Trader. They have all these different stats and whatever else, and like, you know, modifiers and classes. Like, I built my character and I have no idea what I am or what I'm doing. Literally, I have zero clue what I'm actually doing in that game. I picked what sounded cool, and I might actually just be trash in game, and I will have zero idea until I actually get in there, you know, and start playing in combat. But first combat I seem to have done really poorly at, so maybe I need to restart my character. I don't know. Yeah, I should play Rogue Trader on story mode. There's no shame in playing a game on story mode or story mode difficulty. Especially if you don't want to put the time in figuring out how the fucking game works. You just want to be there for the story. I get it, man. I get it. I've never done it before, but I get it. I empathize. I understand. All right, we got to tighten up a couple things here, then we can actually get into hatching. Look, doing this way where we work based on it on the sketch layer to begin with, and we don't make a new layer on top of it, makes it go way faster. Like, I'm actually kind of stoked about that, you know? If we get done fast enough, maybe I'll take a request from chat today at the end of the stream. Depending on how fast, because this is going a lot faster than I thought it would, actually. I'll be very honest. I thought 1 hour in, I wasn't going to be anywhere near finishing. And we're not near finishing per se, but just, you know, I wasn't expecting this, so. We're talking about Capcom like this is, or in this space, or wait, should I ask what you mean things with Capcom? The same acronym I know. Capcom is a video game company, Jacob. Yeah. Capcom is a video game company. I don't know what Capcom is. I've never heard of that. I always play on normal, no more or less. Yeah, it depends on the game for me, I guess. There's some games that I've enjoyed playing on the difficult like modes for, but a lot of them I just kind of don't, you know? A lot of them I find me time wasty. Like, you know, my most unpopular gaming opinion is that the difficulty in Souls games is time wasty and not fun. You know, but like I understand people disagree, and that's a very unpopular opinion. So there's got to be something to it that I am missing. But like I played through Demon's Souls, and thought the game was wasting my time. You know, I never had that moment of like, oh my god, I'm so happy to be, you know, trying this boss for the 40th time. It didn't feel like the progression was fun, if you know what I mean. It felt time wasty. But at a certain point in time, I felt like I needed to start getting something out of a game to play it. And it's like, if I don't feel like I'm getting that thing, whatever it is, out of the game, I just feel like I should drop it immediately right then and there. And Dark Souls 1 felt like that. After I got through Demon's Souls, I don't know. Everyone said Dark Souls was going to be the greatest game you've ever played, and I said, alright, I'll try it. And it was meh. I wish it was my jam because they're like so popular, you know? Like I see how many people say Elden Ring is the greatest game they've ever played of all time. And it honestly just makes me kind of sad. It's like, I want that, you know? I wish I had that. I want to be part of that, you know? Story for me like a challenge? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. The thing is, though, that like challenge in video games for me is like it's a very unique thing. It's like I want a challenge, but I don't want my time wasted. So like, for instance, playing Baldur's Gate on Tactician, I didn't feel like was time wasty. Playing Demon's Souls or Dark Souls 1 felt time wasty. The one main thing that I give, like, the reason why I'm not just completely against this and saying I'm never going to give this a shot ever again or ever try another Souls game or whatever is mostly because I never played Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring or Bloodborne. And people say that those are the best of the of the category. So like very few people, I have had a couple of Souls like enjoyers say like, why didn't you like Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls? Okay, for that reason you probably won't like these other ones. Fair enough. But a lot of people are like, oh bro, you didn't like Dark Souls 1? Oh dude, but you didn't try 3, did you? And it kind of feels like one of those like, dude, the game gets good after 20 hours kind of arguments. But I don't know, I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to try it at some point in time. It's just, I have to really be in the mood for it. And I'll admit the Elden Ring DLC is kind of exciting. You know? It's kind of exciting that people are so excited about that. So like, maybe I'll give it a try. Who knows? Could be sick. Doing line art directly on the sketch later is faster. What's the drawback? Why would you choose to do it the other way? It's for me, it's usually a matter of control, Atari. It's a matter of control where if I do it this way, in my opinion, I'll only ever make something that looks 80% as good as if I do it the other way. But again, it's that 80-20 rule. How do you get 80% of the results in 20% of the time? So like, is it worth it to do that extra mile? So it's like if somebody's paying me $400 to draw their character for them, then yeah, it is. But if it's like a quick commission, like a very quick character portrait, or if it's like a request on stream. Now, what'll be interesting, Atari, is if it crosses over the kind of the event horizon, whereby these sketches and the sort of the honest whatever sketchy feel they do is if I'm able to control it enough, to control that chaos enough, that it ends up looking better than the cleaner stuff, that's gonna be fucking sick. That's gonna be dope. That'll be a whole new reality for me. Let me play entire difficulties, total war games. Actually, get to a point where I would always steamroll. Actually, that's a good point. I'm playing through the Age of Empires campaigns, and most of them I play on hard, which is actually hard. You know, it's a big difficulty upgrade from the middle or whatever. I think it's less than the falling 40 times in Triumph after winning the 41st time. But if you don't have time for that because you're an artist, it is what it is. It's not even like, it's a sense of like what I think, Nix, I think this is why I have problems with these games. So you have a couple sort of realities here. You have like video games in one box, right? That's how I see it. And you have like, let's just say, other things you want to be good at, like art. You know, I like learning languages. I'm learning Arabic right now. And like, let's say fitness. These are maybe the 4 things that I'm trying to do the most right now. It's not to me like progress in it, like I only have like, you know, 50 points of progress per day, and if I put 30 into video games, then I can only put 10 to art and 10 into like fitness, and then 0 or here. It's not like it's a resource allocation for me, because if there was like learning languages doesn't really help me. And I know that sounds like silly. People defend learning languages all the time. But realistically, the time I spend learning Japanese has helped me not that much. It's made my trips to Japan probably 20% better. Is the 20% worth all those hours? Likely not. Am I ever going to go to a country that speaks Arabic? Almost assuredly no. Am I ever going to need Spanish? Probably not, but I'm still learning it, you know? Because I like it, so it's fun. So there's a value in there. You can say, what is the value? The value is fun. Fun, smiley face. That's why we do this. And so the video game's the same thing. It's fun. You know? Smiley face. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So you can say that art is fun plus money. So that's pretty shit. That's dope, man. That is literally the shit. Fitness is fun, or lowercase fun-ish. It's fun-ish plus health, and that's a big one. Now, the problem is the way my brain works. The way my brain works is I got so stuck in video games. I played World of Warcraft. I played MMOs. I played esports games so much and had a shattering of glass. This entire thing shattered for me, whereby I lost all meaning in it. I looked at all the time I had spent playing World of Warcraft, playing video games, getting good at esports games, getting good at Dota, getting good at whatever games, you know, Overwatch, StarCraft. And for me, I realized that the meaning that I got out of it in my life was not worth the time I put into it, even in the slightest. But when I tried to move over and was like, okay, well, instead of playing video games, I'm just going to spend my time over in art. The problem is that art's hard. This is difficult. So the problem is art's not fun. It's not fun like video games are fun. Right? So what does fun turn into? Fun turns into like meaning and purpose. Meaning and purpose and money. And so what I realized in my life is I needed to chase this more. Meaning over fun. And so for me, fitness doesn't matter if it's fun. It is very meaningful. Languages, very meaningful. Still kind of fun, you know, whatever. And so if I'm going to play a video game, what I need is for the video game is I need for there to be meaning behind it. I have to find meaning in playing a video game. Now, some people are going to say it's ridiculous. Like, video games, it's fun. It's not supposed to have meaning in it. You're not supposed to have meaning. It's supposed to be dumb, relentless fun. You queue into a match, you bust your head against the wall, and you know, get yelled at by like an 11-year-old on Xbox Live, and you go again the next day, and that's fun. Great. I understand the idea of like relaxing and stuff like that. Sure, fine. Not saying that anyone should follow this metric, but for me, I need there to be meaning in what I'm doing. So meaning is now trumps everything else. Because I had a crisis. I had a crisis in my late 20s where I had no meaning. I had no purpose. I had no drive. I was only having fun. And I realized that that was going to literally kill me. It was literally going to end my life. So when I look at video games now, a video game has to have... It has to do something for me. And so I can tell you, I can say, you know, Baldur's Gate 3, great game. I find it super fun and I get a lot of inspiration. I like the art. I'm there for the story. Yeah, it's great. But the problem is this is first playthrough. So is this worth 150 hours? Yeah, sure. But for the next playthrough, for playthrough 2, for another, let's say 120 hours, am I getting the same out of everything? I'm probably only getting like maybe 15 to 20% of the inspiration, art, and story, but I'm on like 70% of the time. And so it's not meaningful to me, and I'm not going to play it. And so when I see a game like Age of Empires 2. Age of Empires 2. So it's fun. Which I forgot to add here. It's fun. It does actually have cool stories. You know, and it's relaxing. Yeah. And so I value it. I value spending some time every day here and there, relaxing every now and then. A game like Dark Souls 3, like the Souls games, the art is meh. You know, it's cool, but like playing the game doesn't like inspire me, I guess, right? I look at the art and I'm like, oh, that's a cool like character concept, but the art in Souls is supposed to be very dark and dreary and whatever, and kind of, you know, it's just like sure, you see it 1,000 times, so there's no real art in a Souls game for me. You know, the story's good, story's great, fantastic. Inspiration, not really. Didn't make me want to play or make a different type of game or a different type of story. Like you can read grimdark, you know, novels and stuff and get the same thing out of it for less time. And so the issue is then, you know, if you were to get, let's say 80% of what Dark Souls has out of it in one playthrough that takes 15 hours, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But the problem is that Dark Souls wants you to spend, like, I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers out here. It wants you to spend 60 hours. And so where do you spend the bulk of this? You might spend a little bit looking at things like story, art, you know, inspiration. And the other 60% you spend trying to get better at something I don't value anymore. And I know that in the process of trying to overcome something, in the process of trying to overcome something, people like that, and it's fun and relaxing for them. And it isn't for me, because I go to war. I go to fucking war against art every day. Any singular amount, molecule of effort I am willing to put into figuring out how to get better at something that is like not language or health or whatever, something that I have a lot of value in, I'm gonna put it straight into art. And I have to do that, because if I let myself finding meaning and value in this, what this leads to 800 days played in World of Warcraft. And what does 800 days played in World of Warcraft leads to? For me, depression. So I will never be able to enjoy those kind of games. I don't find them fun, and that's more or less why. It's just not. It's something that I can't value, if that makes sense. And I'm really envious or jealous or whatever of people that can and have responsible sort of like, you know, responsible relationship with those kind of games, who can take them for what they are, who can learn about the game and get better and do their thing and become a badass and whatever, and improve at a game, and they find success and brilliance in improving, and you know, and I admire that, and I'm jealous of it. I really am. But I also know myself well enough, and I know that I will spend not just like a healthy weekend playing a game that doesn't actually matter. I will spend a decade doing it. And there's no more terrifying experience I've had in my life besides like a health scare. There's no more existentially terrifying experience I've ever had in my life than waking up and realizing I was extremely good at something I didn't fucking care about. So So I had to break it. I had to break the pedestal, smash the monument, and I can't go back ever again in the same way. It's kind of like I guess a friend described to me once like I'm a video game addict treating themselves like an alcoholic. Right? It's like you can never go back to it for that reason. I can never go back to a video game to try and find any sort of like value in like being good at something, or else I'll fall straight back into the fucking hole, you know? So if you want to get to midlife crisis and go away any more fun, yeah, that's fine. Very picky with art and video games and manga and anime. Yeah, and like I mean, Dark Souls people love the Souls like or the Souls style of art or that dark fantasy. I just think there's other things that do it better, you know. And I don't need to play the game for 80 hours to appreciate the things that I do like about it. It's a myth. Dark Souls is a knowledge game, not a skill game. I think that building the knowledge is that in this so it is. Ashy, I agree. From what I understand of it, but in this context, that's an irrelevant distinction, I think. Because yeah, if for the sake of clarity you want to like point that out, absolutely, but that doesn't change sort of the idea of in order to gain that knowledge, you have to study the encounters, study the thing. Because I would say the exact same thing is true for World of Warcraft, and I played the shit out of World of Warcraft. You know, is that it's not a skill-based game; it's a knowledge-based game, and you have to know what to do, know how to do things, know how things work, learn systems and mechanics. And the more analytical you are, the better you are at World of Warcraft raiding and PvP. But I think that ultimately it's a relevant distinction because simply the fact that it's time spent doing something to gain the skill or knowledge or whatever required to overcome a challenge, it ultimately in a way that I find repugnant because I have to feel like I'm drinking poison when I do that, because if I start enjoying it, I won't be able to manage it responsibly. You might be able to go in and play like Monster Hunter and like Dark Souls and like chill out and play some whatever games with your friends, and I've learned about myself that I can't. I'm a recovering video game addict, dude. And I don't even think that my story is particularly unique. I think that there's fucking millions of people who are as stuck in the video game sphere as I was. And look, I'm not negative on video games whatsoever. I love video games with all my heart. I'm never going to say that it was video games' fault whatsoever. My problems were issues with me that video games solved. It's not like you can point at like a drug and be like, oh, that drug's really bad. It fucks anyone who like, you know, messes around with it. It isn't like that at all for video games for me. It is a matter of I couldn't find those. Yeah, I think there are bad video games that exploit people, like gacha games. You know, I think gacha games largely are not great because they exploit people's like time and energy and waste their time and want them to just waste away spinning and whatever and being F2P so that the whales can come in and feel good or whatever. Like, there's all these criticisms you can level at it. But I have no problem with video games in general. I love video games. I want to make video games eventually. But I want to make a Baldur's Gate type game. Something that I find the progression, you get a lot out of it. And there's a good value for my time for what I value in a video game experience. I don't value seeing the same encounter 50 times. I really don't. I want to see 50 different encounters. And I want them to be challenging and interesting. I don't mind redoing an encounter once and twice, like learning how to do it. Like, I got that in Nier. Nier made me redo some boss fights here and there, and I wasn't mad about it. But I think the longest I spent on a boss fight on Nier was like maybe like 5 attempts maybe. You know? Fiax, thank you for the follow. Welcome. So, yeah, I don't know. That art is also knowledge-based too, but it's a learned skill. Yeah, you could say that. I don't know. I call it out more for the time ratio than anything else because, yeah, if you're just to have a book of all the knowledge in front of you, then time spent doing thing drastically inverts. Like, I've only been stuck in Dark Souls 2 twice in my entire playthrough. Oh, sure, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I also actually am not good enough to play. Like, I'm not good enough or smart enough to play Dark Souls. Because, like, definitely, people said that Dark Souls 1 wasn't that hard. And I had to fight certain bosses in Dark Souls 1, like, I don't know, 20, 30 times. Right? Like if I played Dark Souls 2, I guarantee you'd be better at me. And And sure. So if you want to make a case of like I'm a bad gamer and that's why I have this opinion, sure. I have no ego wrapped up in me being good or bad at it. That like someone who has more knowledge and more whatever can be better than me. I'm not worried about that. Like absolutely go for it. You know, take that crown. But for me, those games, to the art of like figuring out the fights and gaining that knowledge is still, again, why I'm saying a meaningless distinction, because it's still time you have to put into it, right? So that's why it's an activity that is very compelling, that I love greatly, that if I have to put time into, it's gonna kill me emotionally, because I'm gonna feel like I'm wasting my time. Not that anyone else should. Again, I'm trying to be very, very specific in how I'm talking about how this is a unique thing for me, which is why I'm talking about the negative sides of my, like, I'm in this, I'm also willing to talk about the negative sides of my like problems. Like, I'm very fully willing to admit that I don't know if I had a video game addiction. That might be a improper, but I was definitely hiding from a painful reality by playing video games. I think a lot of people do. It's just people don't want to be open about it, but that's for them and their, you know, whatever. Not for me to make a case about. Anyway. But so yeah, when I see a game that's designed like a Souls-like game that just wants you to sort of like spend all this time learning this encounter, learning this fight over and over and over again, and there's like a community sort of like braggadocious like love of how much the time they spent on a fight, like how millennia is a great. It's like the same thing happens in Mythic Raiding. People they brag about how in Mythic Raiding in World of Warcraft, how like, oh, can you believe this end boss only took 300 pulls? Like, what a bad boss, man. End bosses are supposed to take at least 500 pulls for the best guild in the world. And I'm like, what? Are you okay? You want me to beat this end boss in this video game and have to take 300 pulls at it? Really? How much is a pull? 10 minutes maybe on average? And that's like being generous because there's like rebuffing and stuff. Being very generous. 10 minutes times 300? Like, what? That's what you want me to do to finish this game? Like, fuck, man. I'm out. I'm so fucking out. I'm gone, bro. I'm not part of the, I'm this is not designed for me anymore. I'm not welcome here. I gotta run. I gotta go home. Well, still the type of normal interactions I would have during high school, and overall I wasn't good at it compared to others. In hindsight, I wish I had learned a skill. Well, here's the thing. World of Warcraft inspired me greatly as a storyteller, as an artist, and whatnot. I don't regret. So, like WoW Classic, I don't regret whatsoever. Burning Crusade, again, no regrets. Any time I spent. Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of the Lich King is when I started dating Ella. And we spent so much time, because we lived further away from each other, going on date night and playing this game together. I don't regret a single day or hour I put into Wrath of the Lich King. Kata, I actually don't regret at all either, because I spent a lot of time on it, and then when I was done with it, because I had school and stuff, I stopped playing it. Warlords of Draenor, I didn't play all that much. Like, I played it a lot, but I didn't like go ham on it, so I don't actually regret any time I spent on it. Well, I guess Mop is that. Sorry, Mop is between those. I got WOD and Mop mixed up. You know, so I look at these as different games in a way, Oda. So Mop, I didn't play much at all. Either. That, like, WOD, I kind of started playing towards the end of WOD. I didn't play a lot of Mop because I'd lost my Kata raid group friends, and I just kind of wandered into Mop. I did things like, you know, just kind of chilled. Legion was amazing. I played so much in Legion. I wasted so much time in Legion, and I regret nothing of it. I played with my friends. I played every day, all day, constantly, and it felt exactly like it felt when we were playing Wrath of the Lich King. It was me and my best friends hanging out, doing fun stuff every single day. BFA. Shadowlands. And Dragonflight. This is where I became unhealthy. This is where I started giving up things to get good at something that doesn't matter. Like so what I mean is I loved collecting. And for those of you who don't know, in World of Warcraft, you can collect like pets, mounts, and transmog. And I spent hours upon hours every week getting pets and mounts and transmog. And at the end of it, I realized that I had spent like 5 years doing something that I didn't fucking care about because I realized it didn't matter. And my friends weren't playing with me for BFA, Shadowlands, and Dragonflight. This is completely alone. Ella wasn't playing with me all that much. My friends weren't playing with me all that much. This was a solo experience. And that's why I realized at a certain point in time, I gotta fix this shit, man. I gotta get out of this video game problem. I had to realize the reason I was playing so many video games and why I was so stuck into World of Warcraft is because I could be someone in World of Warcraft. I could be cool in World of Warcraft. I could be the cool guy with the cool thing and important and whatever, and people cared about the achievements that I had. But the problem is that I was not good as an artist. My debt was stacking up, and I'm like, shit, man. Does the bank not know that I'm like one of the best World of Warcraft players out there? Like, do they think that I'm supposed to like work an extra job to be able to pay off my debt or some shit? They don't understand that I'm super good at the game. And then I started to get unhealthy again. And I'm like, wait, does my body not understand what is required to get good at World of Warcraft? How dare it begin to fail on me because I'm sitting at my chair all day, every day, not moving, not going out, gaining weight? How dare my body do that? How dare it not understand the sacrifices we must all make to be great at things in life? Elon made sacrifices to make SpaceX. Bill Gates made sacrifices to make Microsoft, and I must make sacrifices to make a really good, impressive World of Warcraft account. Oh. Oh, okay. So I still play the game. I play when a new patch is out. I see the new area. I see the new story. I do the cool thing. I do the raid. I do the dungeons. I love World of Warcraft. It's still my favorite game. But what I'm not doing is logging on every day obsessively to do my dailies and to grind my reputations and find the pets and make gold and be wealthy. I'm not doing that anymore. And a game like Dark Souls, it feels the same sort of thing to me. It's like, you mean I could walk through this game and play Dark Souls and get in there and smash through the encounter and kill the boss and then listen to the story and see the art and all that? I could have done that 25 attempts ago at this boss. Nah, man. That kind of like dedication to learning the fight, learning the encounters, learning the mechanics is only worth it if you find that rewarding and you're like approaching it from a healthy standpoint, which I would not, and that's why I can't. Play Valley, I don't think you're bad. I just think the game is intentionally obtuse and misleading. If someone gave you crayons and a high quality canvas, you had hidden nice paints like behind you and expect you to find it rather than trying to use crayons. Maybe. Like Elden Ring is littered with just use blunt weapons on this boss and it dies in 3 hits, but doesn't start you with a blunt weapon. It takes 8% time from other damage types. Oh, I see. Yeah, so like it's more of a puzzle game, right? So you have to like, if you're willing to explore and stuff. Well, that's what I like about Elden Ring. One of the things people say that I would like is because it's more about exploration than it is about being good at a Souls-like game. I think that makes more sense now that I heard you say that. How do you get like a character sketch? I don't remember how. I don't think I'm here when you're told us how to get it. It was a request in Discord, Gabby. It'll probably be on Twitter or Discord next week. I might do like a channel people can like add a single character to, and then I'll roll from that so you don't need to keep posting a new one every single week. And then if you get your character chosen, then you can add a new one. And if not, then you'll just keep your existing one in there. You can edit your posts if you want to pick a new one, I guess. But yeah, for now it's Discord or Twitter, depending on what I'm feeling that week. I think I might just do Twitter, because like Discord's fine, but like realistically, I mean, who the fuck doesn't have Twitter? I know that's like a well, actually I don't question or answer or whatever. I know a lot of people don't have Twitter, but also making it ease of use for the average person to make the requests versus ease of use for me to make the requests. It's like, if one thing has to give, it's not going to be me making them easier for me to do requests, right? And if somebody really doesn't want to make a Twitter and really doesn't like to use social media, like, I totally back that, dog. And there'll be opportunities, they'll just be less often. And so as long as people are okay with that, then it's all good. But when I said that I was doing requests on Twitter, like, a couple people got like a little butthurt, and it really kind of annoyed me. It made me kind of want to do them on Twitter just because people thought that they had the, like, where did that line come from? What the fuck? I just erased straight through her face. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and it's like, I kind of maybe want to just do it on Twitter even more if people are going to complain about it. Which is probably not a great thing to have, but I have that kind of sense in me where if somebody complains about the way I'm doing something, that kind of makes me want to do it that way anyway. Because, like, fuck that guy. No one was being disrespectful. I mean, one person was, but I'm not, like, gonna make everyone suffer because one person was being an asshole. But, like, I don't know. I'm really to think about whether or not, what is the easiest way for me to format these requests every week to make it easy on me, make it more accessible for people, to make the most amount of people happy. And I think Twitter might be it. I don't quite know. Not quite sure. It does feel bad if somebody's going to be requesting the same character over and over again, because I know people feel like they don't want to, they shouldn't. But it wasn't like, if your sketch doesn't get chosen, it's not based on merit, unless your idea is dumb and it like is like a meme and only a meme and not like kind of funny, like Garthan's like, oh, I want you to draw like this elf that's like a shadow, like, you know, whatever cleric. It's like, okay, that's fine, you know. But like when I've done this in the past, sometimes it's been like, oh, I want like a gnome with a top hat, but the top hat is made of croissants, and instead of it being a gnome, I want it to be a Lalafell, and I want to look like a purple-haired Lalafell from the Dragon's Claim. And it's like, okay, I get you think you're very funny, but this is not like and yeah, we can all have a chuckle at it. I'll have a chuckle. I'll have a little laugh with you, but I'm not spending 2 hours on an NPC sketch for that, for our library. No one's going to use that character sketch. No one's going to need it. It's just going to be a meme, and that's it. And I'm not willing to sacrifice, you know, sketches to just indulge a singular meme. So besides that, it's not merit based. It's just like a random rule that I do. So I feel bad if somebody feels like they need to like add a new idea every week, you know, because it's not arena or anything. It also didn't help that I really wanted to play a rogue, but another friend in the group already played a rogue, so by default I was rendered useless in a group. So the majority of the time I was just there, the butt of jokes. That sucks, bro. That sucks. Can I get a gif with real Karen energy and she looks like she took the kids in the divorce? I mean, I would do it. I would do it. I would do it, but you're not gonna like it, Ashy. You're not gonna like it. You think you do. You think you want it, but when I truly render a character with that much of a pissed off Karen, divorced wine mom energy, you're gonna look at it and be like, "Ugh, I didn't want this. I don't want this in my game." Don't underestimate me. All right, I can create amazing things, and I can take it away too. I can destroy. I can create. I can do lots of different things. Okay. I am not to be trifled with. I'll JL in bracket. You think you do, but you don't. I'm also just like kind of like, everyone's been really nice and respectful and stuff so far. We've also only done this for two days, but I'm also just anticipating someone being mad their character isn't what they wanted, which is one of the reasons why I wanted, like one of the reasons for doing it in Discord as opposed to Twitter, because Twitter you could get randos. Twitter could be like a rando that like is I post the piece and they're like mad. They're like, that's not my my rogue, and I'm like, I wasn't drawing your rogue. I said, give me a brief description, and you told me this, so... Like, I am waiting for that to happen for the first time. For the first person to throw a hissy fit because it wasn't what they wanted. You know? I'm just like, I'm aware of that event happening. You know? What's up, Azalea? What's going on? Do the Karen gift? Do it? Yeah, alright. I can do it. Rogues me more than sneaky pickpockets. Wait, Azalea, are you getting pre-rolls on my channel, or was it just an ad? Hold on. When did I run my last ad? This is all automatic. Pre-rolls are off for another 33 minutes. So you shouldn't have gotten a pre-roll. What the fuck? That's so annoying, bro. Alright, whatever. Whatever. You know what I need to do? I need to make the frame on a different layer. That's what I need to do. The frame has to be on a different layer because I need this alti part of 1 so that I can do things like this, like select this entire area. Oops. There we go. Now we can do fill layers. We'll do like a fill 30 and a fill 70. Let's try something like a fill 50 maybe, fill 45. There we go. Fill 45, and then we'll do another one that is a fill 70. We'll do 70% on that. And then we can kind of draw in some darker things if we need to. All right. We're keeping it simple and figuring out how much we can do with as few resources as possible. And then I wonder if it'd be cool to do like general kind of like, Oh, whoops. Select out a little bit of this. Yeah, forgot about these. The hair wisps, man, they got me. I think that's nice. I think that's cool. I'd do a little bit of a design thing on her robe real quick, and then and kind of get most of the way there. Yeah, that's good shit, man. I like that. Okay. All right, neat. This is good. Ooh, that's one problem. Can't sketch over top of the frame now. All right, cool. So this is number, which number is this? What are we on? We're number 4? I think this is number 4, yeah. So this is sketch number 4. Just think about, man. Think about how coveted the like single-digit numbers are gonna be. Oh wait, I was gonna do. Okay, one sec. I was gonna do cool makeup thingy on her. One sec. I forgot. I was gonna do cool like tattoo makeup thingy on her. Supposed to be an acolyte, dude. Acolytes have a little. They gotta be cool. And something kind of hiding underneath her bangs. They don't really see. Okay, there we go. There we go. This is our... Wait, does she have a name? No. An elven acolyte who worships deities of death and provides comfort for those who are scared to pass on, teaching others. It is just another chapter in life. All right. Going a little deeper on these character sketches, man. That was fun. Good request, Mel. If you catch the VOD later, Mel. For figuring, I just want to make sure there's not number 4 already there. Let me just scroll up real quick to the last time we did one. This was number 3. Yeah. Okay, cool. So there it is, man. Ooh, okay. All right. Now we stretch and we have the second of the day is a leader of a ruffian gang, basically a street level thug who's snarly and unpleasant. We need a snarly, unpleasant Wither's Acolyte. I'm not going to do Wither's Acolyte. Stop. Can you also roll to see which person gets to be the first to bitch about not getting the character the way they want? Well, it's alright. That could be you, because I believe this is your request. So, you know. Could be you, brother. Who knows? We'll see. we're gonna keep our eyes out. He also needs to have a Cockney accent. Make sure you get that right. Cockney accent. Okay. So he needs to sound suspiciously like my mod Idaloon. Got it. That's tough, man. How do I... I don't know how I visually represent that, you know? That's a challenge, bro. I gotta think about this, you know? It's fine. Sports my favorite D&D artist. All right. Well, I don't know. That sucks. I shouldn't have pre-rolls on. I'm mad when it happens, and yes, thank you for supporting the channel by sitting through an obnoxious ad. So okay. Problem is that I would work from the sketch level with this guy, but problem is I messed up my fuck. I messed up by making the layer less. Oh god, that's so annoying. I made the layer less opacity, or like lower the opacity, and then I merged the layers, so I can't. All right, whatever. We'll still work from our sketch, but it'll be a little bit different today. Or for this one, we'll have to do a little more work around it, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. So obviously he's gonna have a cool eye patch. You know, Actually, I wonder if I could do this. No, I can't. I'd have to make... Oh, you know what I could do? Okay, hold on. I could do this. Okay. We're gonna try something. And delete this copy layer. Delete this one. Delete this one. Then we're gonna make a new copy. So his frame's gonna be very dark. That's okay. I'll make a new one. So we have... Ooh. Mistake. So now we take the... Dude, I'm hacking right now. I'm hacking. So merge this down. Merge this down. Merge this down. Okay, unmerge these down. We're going to select out the part that's actually the sketch. I'm just trying to make it darker so we can work off of it. Be a little scuffed. Delete it from this layer, delete the frame from this layer, delete the frame from this layer, delete the frame from this layer. Dude, wait, it actually worked. And then we're going to go over it with the right kind of brown. Oh, dude, it actually worked. Wait, I am hacking. I'm an asset, dude. I am an asset to any organization. All right, cool. Actually, I should probably take a break midway and not just draw all the way through. So I'm gonna go get a new refreshed water. Can I be a good artist? Should be easy. Listen. I never said I was a good artist. Not once. Okay, beer me real quick. All right, I'm back. We're good. We're chilling. We're doing what's up. Wait, why do I have windows open? I have so many Twitch open, windows open. All right. I close everything. All right, Gucci. I made a little snacky. Enjoy a little snacky before we get into the second one. Because I feel like we have to channel, to really channel my inner street ruffian for this one. You know, I did run the mean streets, Calgary, Alberta, when I was younger. I was into the whole street racing scene. Never got arrested, never got in trouble. But learned some lessons when I was young. I was overall a good boy. Never did anything wrong. Always listened to my parents. Never broke the rules or snuck out. Or snuck my girlfriend out. Nope. I was a good boy. I played D&D. That's what I do. I mean, I don't think that my girlfriend's parents or Ella's parents liked her playing D&D now I think about it, but A, her mom would be like, hey, do you really want to go to like a real party sometime? Like, I can give you some money to like go like to a real party from your like friends at school or whatever. She's like, Mom, I'm having fun at Dungeons and Dragons. Let me play my imagination dragon game. Like, all right. We were the weird high school boys from another school. We were good. We never did anything dumb at D&D. Usually. I think her mom just wanted her to be, like, social and popular. And I get it, you know? When you're around the D&D crowd. It can be cause for concern. Maybe. I understand it, I guess. I understand the concern. Even if there's nothing to be concerned about. I understand it. But hey, look at how it turned out, you know? We're fine. We all grew up normal-ish, I think. I really wish I knew where a bunch of our D&D friends were from back in the day. You know? Please go underage drinking. I don't want to be a nerd. I mean... That and... Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Like you joke, Nix. That's how the conversation went, you know? So... I had other friends like that. Their friends would be like, hey, we'll buy you guys some like some booze and weed and whatever, like if you want to have like a real party. I'm like, no, we're good. We're fine. We're gonna have our Dr. Pepper and you know, I don't know what the big concern was, but you know, I guess parents want what's best for their kids usually, so they're just trying to protect us from potentially being outcasts, you know. Food is good, Nick. Made some protein oats. Don't usually make food in the middle stream, but some days I'm just feeling a little off and I need it, you know. So, all right, time to do a good job on this. Lest Atari be displeased and kill off one of my favorite characters. That would be unthinkable. Incomprehensible. I kind of wanted to give him an eye patch, but I realized that was kind of like piratey. So I decided to give him an eye wrap. I think that's cooler. It's more street thuggy. Thought about like painting a design of an eye on on the wrap or whatever. Might still do that. We'll see. We'll see what looks cool. We'll see what we feel like later on. I don't know. I'm not committing to anything, all right? And I'm always thinking about where I can use these characters in Eldara. Because, like, not all, obviously, all these NPC sketches, not all of them will be useful in my world, right? If somebody asks for, like, I don't know, a Goliath or a Ganassi or something like that, I'm not going to say no, you know, clearly. But then I can't really use it in my game. It's not like it's useful for me. So I need to, excuse me, I need to figure out, like, how I can use some of these NPCs in my games. I think I'm going to actually use this one in particular. I'm going to use him for an upcoming thing the party needs to do, let's just say. I might actually use this other one, her, in a game with or in the game with Fishy. And hopefully we'll just have this big library, you know? We can all just use NPC sketches. It makes the game more, I don't know. I won't say believable, immersive. I don't know what the right word is. When you have visuals to back up what you're talking about, it always just helps out a little bit. Helps sell the idea. Maybe that is immersive. I don't know. So I'm getting here based on your discussion last stream. Is that your elves of your high school period? Wait, you're the elves of your high school period. We were good. We were like that. We have that. Yeah, basically. Yeah, we're, you know, because like realistically, I've never really drank out of hand. Never smoked, never done anything, never tried anything. Zero experience with stuff. And a lot of it was just because I didn't really care or want to. But we were just like, you know, from our perspective, we had friends who were like stoners or who would drink a lot. And none of us had the like only I had a moral like thing about it where like I didn't want to engage in any of those immoral activities like weed or drinking or whatever. Like I had a thing about it, you know. But most of our friend group was like, I don't think like D&D's gonna be harder to like we're not gonna be able to play as good of D&D if we're drunk. Like what if we get drunk and do something stupid? And your parents are like, yeah, what if you get drunk and do something stupid? And like, we could do something stupid we regret for the rest of our lives. And our parents are thinking we're talking about like getting pregnant or something. We're talking about getting our characters killed. You know, you're like, what if I get drunk with my friends in Evan's basement and I do something dumb and I go and I try and attack the dragon and the dragon kills me. And then I'm out of my character, you know? So we didn't drink ever when we're playing D&D or whatever, or usually ever in general. Because of that. And the reason why most of us didn't smoke weed was because everyone that we knew in high school that smoked a lot of weed was also like really dumb. And I'm not saying that people who smoke weed are dumb. A lot of people smoke weed, you know, and it's fine. I don't have any moral judgments about it, you know. But when I was in high school, that like crew of kids, the stoners, were all really dumb. And we were like, well, shit, man. So like, if weed makes you chill out and get like really dumb, then we're clearly not going to be able to understand the puzzles in the dungeon. So why would I want to smoke weed and lower my, you know, cognitive ability and not get the dungeon, not finish the puzzles? Like, what is this shit? It was all very pragmatic, you know, for us. It wasn't like we were like the good Christian whatever group. I think we were all like fairly good kids, you know. No one was really messing around. I had one friend who started like going out and partying and drinking a bit, but we like had a bit of an intervention for her. And to be fair, we overreacted. If you think about it, we overreacted hard. The kind of stuff that she was doing that we like intervened on, we're like, hey, we think you're like going out and like, you know, drinking a lot and like that's not good, whatever, we're worried about you, was not even because she was doing anything really dumb, but we just had such like a narrow window of what was like acceptable behavior as a high schooler or a teenager. So man, we were so easy to parent. Like, holy fuck, could you imagine? Could you imagine? God damn, bro. No, man, but who, dude? You can't be on your best A game when you're playing D&D if you're under the influence of something, you know. That's what we thought. And again, no judgments. I know there's lots of people who enjoy it recreationally or whatever. I got no judgments. I'm just saying, stayed away from all that shit. I think it's bad for you. But there's a lot of things that I think are bad for people that they still do, and that I do. So who am I to judge what somebody does that's not optimal for their health? You know? We all have fucking things. Nobody's perfect. The IREP also is just something more recent, like his last victim didn't cooperate. I wanted to give him a bunch of like scars, but I also, when you're talking about like street thugs and like the leader of a gang, I thought about this image. I don't remember what it was from, Atari, but it was from some either like movie or something along those lines, where I remember it was this Japanese film and there was a like leader of a gang, like a Yakuza group, and he had like his arm was broken, and so he had it in a sling. I don't remember why, but it made him so much cooler, because that like at some point he had to like, one of his like guys, his thugs did something wrong, and so he like beat the shit out of him with a cigarette in his mouth and one of his arms in a sling, you know. And it was just this like, I don't know, it was this really cool like dissonance or whatever in it that I thought was really interesting, of like the gang leader carrying an injury but still going out to do what he's got to do to keep his protection safe, his you know, territory secure, and his thugs in line. So I don't know, I'm trying to carry over a little bit of that toughness. Very kind of sharp eyes and a sharp expression. I tried making him actually snarling, but that looked a little bit ridiculous. I couldn't make him actually snarling without it looking comical. So, I tried though. I tried. But if I get drunk and I don't check for traps, true. True. I don't know where I got my like sense of like fear and whatnot around doing anything wrong as a kid. I don't think my parents like were to be credited for it. They were pretty chill about most things. I don't know why I turned out not a degenerate. I think D&D was part of it. Friend group was part of it. I mean, I was also put in with the gifted kids. So, like, my friends were all the, like, you know, math competition or debate club kids. So, probably some of that in there, too. I don't know. Hard to say. I don't know what you're even supposed to do or not do to actually raise a good kid that stays out of trouble. It's scary, man. Being a parent is not something I'm looking forward to in that vein. What happens if you raise a kid that's like getting in trouble? What happens if you raise a kid that's like not into Star Wars? Like, can you still love them? Like, you have to, but like, can you? I don't know, man. What if they're like, Dad, I want to play D&D, and you're like, oh, it's great. And they're like, Dad, I want to play D&D 5th edition. And you're like, oh my god, son, There are other play editions to play. You can play 3.5. I'll teach you. So I'll even play 4th edition with you. No, but Dad, you don't understand. All the other kids play D&D 5th edition. Well, the other kids started doing. Wait, does that work? Yeah, okay. The other kids started jumping off of bridges. Would you? Well, that sounds pretty cool, actually. Never mind. If your friends start jumping off bridges, then you should probably follow along. But you get what I'm trying to talk about here. You get the point. Ooh, that's scary. It's a scary fate, I tell you. What if your child is a Trekkie? I could love a Trekkie. I could. I really could. Depends if they were a new Trekkie or an old Trekkie. Because my brother is a Trekkie, and I love my brother. My mom is a Trekkie. My grandpa was a Trekkie. But my grandpa was Omni. He was into Star Trek and Star Wars. He liked Star Wars a little bit more, but Star Trek was more accessible. Because this is back in the day when you only had like one singular movie trilogy for Star Wars, and that was it. So what do, you know? Trekkie be okay. Unless it's the new shit. In which case, that's a problem. That's the only one we've got to be careful of. I watched a ton of Star Trek growing up. Like, honestly, Star Trek was great. I remember when there were still new... I vaguely remember when there were still new Next Generation episodes. But I definitely remember when there were still new Voyager episodes. I mean, what year did Next Generation end? It had to have been, like, early 90s, right? Would have been when I was, like, very young, very little. But I do remember new Voyager episodes. New Stargate episodes. Honestly, having good sci-fi TV was like really great growing up. I don't regret it at all. I don't think that I miss it, to be frank. It's why like Star Wars shows are like kind of good for me in that way. They still feel like they're kind of like old school sci-fi. Just a little bit, you know, in that sort of vein. If I get high and take forever during combat, yeah. As long as something they can do with you and you don't make them they usually like it. That's fair. I used to like golfing with my dad when I was young until my dad would consistently try and like correct me every single time I did anything, and I was like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. He's like, all right. And I got back into golf when I was older because of Ella, which is fun. What else? My mom would make me watch... Which one we watch with her? Some TV shows or some shit, I don't know. So they probably read about that. What do you mean a kid who isn't into Star Wars? How do they not understand the greatness that is the debate between Kirk versus Picard? That's Star Trek, Garthan. Unfortunately, it's not Star Wars, bud. That's the wrong one. Thinking of Star Trek. The incorrect science fiction TV show. Controversial Farscape. Well, I liked all of those shows, like Farscape and Babylon 5 and you know, what were the other ones? Like Farscape was the one that had the guy that went to like Claudia Black, I believe. And the other guy that went to Stargate. Yeah, those two. What was the one? Oh, yeah. So like Farscape was good. Andromeda 5 was the other one. Yeah. Andromeda 5. Wait. Oh, no. What was this called? Andromeda? Oh, it's called Andromeda. TV show. I thought it was like... Oh, sorry, Babylon 5. That's why. Babylon 5, Andromeda, Sequest, DSV. I think Andromeda, of all these ones, Andromeda's my favorite. Farscape was a little bit weird. I liked all the Andromeda cast. Man, this is great, dude. She was the ship or the computer or whatever, wasn't she? Rami? Yeah, this is good shit, man. Old sci-fi TV was a lot of fun. I miss this era of TV quite a bit. You know, because you got experimental stuff. You know, you got experimental stuff where they were willing to do this kind of like niche-y, cool little like show for a while, like Stargate. Like you would never get anything like that now. For anyone to do like big media, like you know what? I'm so the thing I'm mad about the most with Rings of Power is that they wasted it. They wasted that much budget because they felt like they had to make a Lord of the Rings thing. You know, it's like, dude, stop making everything something else. Stop making like this movie after this book or this thing after that. Like, stop needing to prove the concept. But the problem is that when you're investing hundreds of millions of dollars into a project, you kind of want to like guarantee returns. And I get that. I kind of. But like, would Firefly have ever happened? Would Andromeda have ever happened if they had that kind of fear? And that's a big problem with TV and video games and media in general, is that I think they need everything needs to be a guaranteed, surefire success, profitability, money in the bank. And no one's willing to take any risks, so nothing is interesting. And people are just like, well, it's the best we got, so I guess I'll watch whatever this is. I guess I'll watch, you know, Rings of Power or I don't know what other sci-fi there's been. Oh, you know what? That's not entirely true, though. I mean, kind of. The Expanse is great. Haven't seen all of The Expanse, but it's some great sci-fi TV. It sort of feels older. But it is also based off something. It's based off of a series of books. So... But they do it well, so I gotta give them credit for that. But so much of, like, sci-fi and fantasy TV and stuff is just, like, it has to be proven. I'm hoping Dune was good, the second Dune movie. I haven't seen the first one because I was waiting for the second one to come out. So hopefully Dune was good, but like I want something new, man. Like I saw Dune, I watched Dune. I'm good with Dune. I don't need more Dune. Maybe it'll be great and be a good sci-fi adventure, but like I'm okay. I didn't need this Dune. You know, it'd be like doing a Star Wars like reboot or whatever. Definitely probably wouldn't need that. Null's End Void, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Farscape, Drama was good. The ship's AI person, right? Yeah. Poor Firefly canceled super early. Firefly was great. I loved it. It was yeah, we watched the shit out of Firefly. They do something slightly different with the books, to the books, but it's worth it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just want more like take some chances, bro. Do some crazy shit. Risk some stuff. And risks don't always pay off. Like for Stargate, you know, the Stargate Universe show. I didn't quite like it. I thought it was trying too hard to be too dramatic and edgy and Battlestar Galactica and whatever. And that's the thing. It was experimental, but it was experimental in... So I guess it wasn't experimental. I guess that actually proves my point. That the one Stargate show I didn't like was the least experimental. The others were all kind of like, well, maybe you could blame them on... Or say they're more like Star Trek type things. And yeah, okay, that's fair. But I don't know. I remember there was a talk of a Stargate MMO coming out for a long time, and I was going to play the shit out of that game. Heather, what are your D&D drawing? We're drawing character NPCs for people who requested them in my Discord, with the goal of making an NPC library that people can use for their games whenever you need an NPC of a various type. And in order to build that library, I am building it not just for my own game, but I'm building it via the requests of others. So... that's what we're doing. We drew a Elvish Acolyte earlier on. That's her. For one of my Discord members. And then we're drawing a street gang leader. And we'll see how that goes. I miss really good fantasy TV shows. Like the last one that I really liked was probably like Legend of the Seeker. You know, Rings of Power, I feel like I didn't need to watch too much of for it to not sell me. Seems like a lot of people agree. Occasionally someone says, no, I liked it. And, you know, that's great, dude. I don't ever want to sort of propagate the idea that, like, if you like the thing that's, like, the dumb mainstream whatever thing, that it makes you, like somehow less sophisticated. I never liked that. Because I like mainstream shit all the time. I think it's totally fine, too. But it is definitely that it seems like a lot of people didn't like Rings of Power for very similar reasons. So, who knows, man? Who knows what they'll do with the next couple $100 million that Amazon Prime gets. They probably won't do Rings of Power. Wheel of Time was, like, pretty bad. It seemed like people didn't like that either. Like, where have all the interesting ideas gone? And don't say the D&D movie, please. Target Universe made the viewer feel claustrophobic too. Yeah, it was anxious in a way that I didn't enjoy, you know? Like, you know how Atlantis was kind of anxious, Nyx? Like, you're in this new place, you got to figure out what's going on. You know, you got to, like, can you get home even? Is it possible? Like, what's going on? Like, oh god, we got to figure this stuff out. But Universe was too claustrophobic, it was too anxious, and it was too dramatic. It was, in my opinion, way too fucking dramatic. It focused way too much on, like, the dark psychological effects of being trapped in space, and, like, less on, like, the cool, hey, wow, that nebula is real dope out there. Let's go take a look at it and get some fucking stardust and learn some secrets of our universe. You know, and that's one thing that bummed me out quite a bit, is that they didn't lean into that part of it, the part that I thought would have been really good. They kind of just made it about, like, dramatic relationships and conflict and whatever. It felt like they were trying to be Battlestar Galactica. And Battlestar Galactica, I didn't even really like that much because they like the new version. New is relative in this context, but the newish version. Because they took themselves way too seriously, tried way too hard to be dramatic, and I just wasn't interested, you know? The fans of things like Battlestar Galactica and The Dark Knight at the time were, like, so annoying that I couldn't get into the TV shows and the movies. I couldn't take watching like the Batman Dark Knight movie seriously because of the fans. They were just so absurd and ridiculous and weird and cringy that I couldn't take anything about it seriously, man. You know, in retrospect, the movies are great, but that's without the cultural context of what it was like to be a nerd in whatever years this came out, like 14 or 15 or 12 or whenever. Maybe on RPG, I wanted to make a sandbox with an optional story. I usually draw OCs from the story. That's pretty cool. Is that Stargate? Yeah, I like one of the side stories from had an Egyptian theme, like a Immortal Grave thing. Yeah, I mean, Stargate was great. It had lots of cool stories. Lots of super cool stories. I like that quite a bit. About it, anyway. Gonna give this a neck tat. Hopefully we'll have time for it. I think we will. But he needs a neck tat, I feel like. All good bros need a neck tat if they're a ruffian gang leader. It's scientifically approved. This week I'm also taking my time on these. Last week I was kind of rushing through, but this week I'm really taking my time. One of the things I need to do for my commissions to make them worth my time is to improve on the time. Like, I can't make them more expensive, but what I can do is try and do them faster so I'm not working for such a low hourly, you know? So this is actually helping. I feel like I'm actually improving on these. We've only done 5 of them so far, which is kind of crazy. Maybe at some point in time it'll become sort of commissioned format to do like this. Who knows? It reminds me of it's based on the appendices, not the Silmarillion. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm glad people liked it. You know, again, it's one of those things where it's like, just because people don't like it in the majority doesn't mean that I think that people who liked it are doing something wrong, you know? I've been on the like unpopular end of tons of media opinions, so I never like to try and make a judgment based on what someone likes or doesn't like in media, you know? Everybody likes what they likes for different reasons. You some last week too? Not last week. Last week I forgot to make a post for it in the Discord or anywhere in time. So last week we did weapon requests again, because I still do want to get to 500 item requests if I can, if it's doable. I want to see 500 requests, and we're at 480 or something right now, so I still need to do another like 20. But for the next couple weeks, if I can, I'll probably try and do characters and build up a little bit of a portfolio of NPCs for our little quest here, for what we're trying to go for. And I'm going to do 1 week of Final Fantasy 14 characters and add them to my NPC library. I'm going to do a week of like World of Warcraft characters for people. So I don't know how many Final Fantasy 14 players there are in Guild, or Warcraft players there are in Guild, but hopefully enough that enough people like have a character they want to see added. Because they have to also understand that this is going into the library as NPCs, you know? Which if you just like put on Twitter, "Hi, I'm Evan, I'm going to draw your Final Fantasy 14 character for you, maybe if you want it," then it's like, they have to explain to them, oh, and it's also going to like end up in my library of things people can use for their D&D games. Like, it's a little bit weirder. You'll like misunderstand some stuff, and I kind of understand why. So I gotta do it right. Make sure everybody understands what's going on. So I'd like to do that, something like that within the Discord, but I don't know a ton of people who play 14 from our guild. There's a couple people, but maybe it's all I need is a couple. Honestly, if I had like 3 people that did it, that's probably good enough, you know? I was going to do some 14 characters for a group of friends that I had, but I... awkward moment. I was going to go to that, because I haven't really talked to that friend group all that much, but I know they play a lot of Final Fantasy 14. And I was going to, like, ping them, or not ping them, but, like, ask them in their Discord. Be like, hey, yo, guys, hey, I need to... Like, they all know what I'm doing. They all know that I'm, like, doing the streaming thing. A lot of them were here at the beginning of my stream, actually, as, like, my very first sort of viewers in chat, which I deeply appreciated. But, that friend group, I was thinking of being like, yo guys, I was doing some requests from stream, like I want to do some Final Fantasy 14 characters, like, any of y'all want me to draw your characters for you? And I was gonna go to the Discord and do that, but then I found that I had been removed from the Discord, and I was like, oh, okay, well this is awkward. Shit. Well, okay. Well, I guess I'll find someone else, you know? You know what I mean? There, you just gotta figure something out. Glad I dodged that bullet, I guess, you know? How rude. I thought so. Man, imagine, right? Imagine. Oh, Matthias Shaw for some reason. You know, Matthias Shaw, you want me to draw an old Spy Master? Here, I'm drawing Matthias Shaw for you right now. How's that? No, Shaw, I believe he has a better mustache, doesn't he? Matthias Shaw has, like, the curled... I think. I don't remember. I don't think he has a full beard. I think he has the curl, and then I think he has the, like, the Van Dyke or whatever. I don't remember what he looked... Actually, fuck it. Why am I speculating? Matthias Shaw. Well, I got it, you know. They're He knows too much. He's played too much World of Warcraft. Get him. We can't, this man must be stopped. Yeah, well, there you go, I guess. You know, I suppose I got in there somehow. I wonder if it would be doable to like draw him with cauliflower ear. You know, like when people when you get like fighters that like they get too deep into the sport and get cauliflower ear, or gets all fucked up because the cartilage gets broken. I wonder if that would translate in art or if it would just look really weird, you know? Maybe we can give it a little bit of cauliflower ear, actually. Cauliflower ear. Just so it's a little bit fucked up, you know? I'm gonna attempt this, okay? We're gonna attempt this. It might look awful, but that's... If Atari is okay with him having a fucked up ear. I don't know if it'll read well enough. This might not work, but... Kind of looks like it. All right, okay. We're learning here. Because you got, like... You got... I'm looking at Khabib's cauliflower ear. It's all fucked up, you know? That's how you know you stay away from a guy. Like if you get into a bar fight with somebody and you see he's got some fucked up ears, you just, you know, like if you're about to get in a bar fight with someone and you see they like start stretching their legs and they got fucked up cauliflower ear, you just say, hey, I'm sorry, man, can I buy a drink? Like, are we done here? You know, I don't care how big or small they are. They got fucked up ears. And they start stretching, or if they start with a leg kick, like, whoa, hey man, you know, our Lola character, we ran this guy I'd run. Yeah. Never drawn a character where I'm like, this guy needs cauliflower ear. But like, it kind of fits, right? I don't know if any of y'all actually like follow like any combat, like MMA or anything like that. If you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say cauliflower ear. Maybe some of you know. I don't know if I'm guessing Atari understands. He seemed willing, but basically what happens is when you're doing a lot of like when you train a lot of jujitsu or like wrestling or something like that, your ear gets like compressed and rolled and pushed and like, you know, passed through guards and stuff like that so many times. The cartilage in it starts to like break and like swell and get all fucked up and stuff, and you know, it just kind of like grows back all weird. And so some fighters, when they're done their career, they'll get plastic surgery to get their ears sort of like put back to it or whatever. Other fighters think that it's like a cool thing, like it's like a badge of honor. And there's some guys in like particularly like Brazil that will fuck their ears up intentionally, so people think they're really good at jiu-jitsu. I have a bit of a fucked up ear. Like you can't really see it on stream, but this ear is a little bit fucked up compared to this. This is like a normal ear, and you can see that, like, I don't know, carries like normal ear anatomy, and this one's a little bit like fucked up and swollen in here just from the small amount of like judo and stuff and training and whatnot. So I don't want to say I can walk around with like cauliflower ear. Obviously it's not, you know, nearly like this ear is almost fine, but yeah. So even with my limited experience, I have a little bit of it, and if I kept going, I'd probably get fucked up a little bit more than a little bit. So Um, but it's not the point it needs to be for me to be able to avoid bar fights. So that sucks. What did elf with cauliflower ear look like? Jesus. I snap that shit right off. You see an elf with a tattered fucking belt on and like one ear snapped off. You're like, okay, all right. Let's just leave this dungeon. I've only ever had once in a game that my players understand what this means. Where I had this guy who was this like, I think he might have been an elf, honestly, but a monk that I said he has like, he's a monk and he's dressed all like in sort of, you know, monk garb and whatnot. Not really fancy or anything, but just like monastic sort of material wrapped on his arms and legs. And he sort of, you know, kind of begins to, before the fight, he begins to kind of like stretch out and crack his back and like really become limber and do all these stretches. And they're like, is there anything we noticed about him? And I said, well, you notice that he normally has piercings, but like he has empty piercings right now. Like he would have taken them out. And his ears are kind of fucked up. And one of these players was like, whoa, we're not fighting this guy. We are not fighting this guy. The other players are like, why? We have swords. He has his hands. He's like, I don't care. I'm not fighting him. So it wasn't for like a lethal encounter. It was like a, you must get past me to have an audience with this person. And so that party member sat the fight out. And it was one of those moments where the party members were supposed to lose. Like if they had chosen that route, which they have been told like many times. They've been warned many times to not mess with like the guards of this particular individual. And so they messed with them. And he did non-lethal damage the entire time, so there's that. You know? What if you defend your ears and people think you suck? Well, that's tough, I guess, you know? There's no when you do like a grappling sport like wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or like judo or whatever, and it was like grappling sports, your ears will get fucked up after long enough. People try and in general be pretty good about it. Like if you're just like sparring and practicing and rolling at your gym, just doing shit, saying what's up. You're like, people try and be conscious of that kind of stuff. But if you're actually like practicing for fights and you're rolling like really hard, or you're doing tournaments and stuff, people stop caring about that very quickly, rapidly. And then that's when you get people who get fucked up injuries and like scars and whatever. So what? Oh, had an opening here. All right, there we go. Subtracted by 2. Okay, now we can do our fill there here. But like, you see a character that's got a lot of scars on them and you just think that makes him look cool. Like, how many times would you avoid a character with a lot of scars in D&D? You know, I think the natural thing you'd think as a player is like, oh, I'm sure they got scarred up because they were fighting lower level, you know, people, but they haven't fought anything like me yet, right? That's like a general consensus of that in D&D. Which I think is generally like reasonable assumption. But it is good to remember. Like, I remember when we were playing our pirate game with Bendari and Ella and Saturn and I loved this thing about Faye's character, where she said that it was in her character's like whatever to never fight an old pirate. She would never ever fight an old pirate. That was like a rule of her character, because she said if they're a pirate, if they get to be old, they got old for a reason. You know? And you do not want to mess with an old pirate, even if they look like a crotchety old, you know, whatever. You just don't mess with old pirates. And I was like, I like that. I like that a lot. That's a great, you know, that's a great Fayeism or whatever. Asparagus here, yeah. There's beard in there as well. His scars. So I was gonna give him a scar across one eye, and I was like, you know what? I like the whole ruffian thug type thing if he just has not just a scar across his eye, but straight up the bandage, like the Yakuza boss with the arm sling. Also thinking about doing like retroactive NPC art for my game and adding him to the library. Like yesterday I had this really cool looking like fortune teller that I'd love to make art for. Kind of inspired the Acolyte a bit, but not fully. But I kind of want to do this like really cool fortune teller because you know, it was not an NPC that I had planned or prepared. Right, it's one of those things where players just like, hey, can we go see a fortune teller? And I was like, okay. Yeah, all right. Sure thing, boss. Also, Ella's playing her Astral Knight so well. I don't know why, but she knew that she just had this instinct that her knight wouldn't want to go, like, wouldn't want to get her fortune read. Because I was thinking about that. I'm like, do I say something to her? Like, nah, this is one of those things, like, a knight wouldn't value that or have any sort of value in like the spirits or whatever. They only value what the stars say, and her knight probably wouldn't care at all to do it. And Ella kind of read that, like she just came up with that on her own, that her knight wouldn't give a shit. Like, damn, bro, she's doing the proper RP. Like, what the fuck? I didn't even have to say that. I don't know if I'll have time for the neck tattoo. We probably will. Like drawing scars that are at odd places with odd shapes. That's pretty good. One or two things if you run into a character like that in D&D, they have earned all those scars during adventures, or they are extremely unlucky and have gone through hell because the world is dangerous, like King from My Hero Academia.
Terraphyllum scalar.
Terraphyllum scalar. Hold on. Fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Oh, the freshwater angel. Oh, lovely. This you know what? This is a delightful meta. This is a delightful week, Aduria. I'm enjoying this thoroughly. I'll be very honest. This is in my wheelhouse. This is dude, I wanted to keep angels so bad. The problem is anytime I had an aquarium large enough for angels, a freshwater one, the issue is you need a lot of angels. For one, they like to be in bigger groups, and also they're kind of dicks. And so you have to have a certain, like, you can't have like this is surprising. A tank with like angels and cardinals, I would be very surprised. This tank has to be huge because a group of angels will fuck your cardinals up. So you need to like pair angels with something aggressive like a barb or whatever, you know, cherry barbs or anything like that. I like angels though, especially the calico ones like that. I always wanted to do a tank of angels, but it just never sort of came to fruition. So I don't know. They are kind of dumb though, and they are a bit stupid. So they're not the most efficient fish. So I'll give them like an 8.
Symphisodon equifasciatus is another neat one.
Symphisodon equifasciatus. The fuck is that? Ooh, the discus. I'm not big into discus because they have a lot of medical issues. Yeah, I know discus are very problematic fish to keep. They're beautiful, and when I do have my billion-dollar mansion with my multiple aquariums in my saltwater reef, I'm going to have a assortment of various discus. But they do make me nervous. I would want to give it a higher than the angel because it is the superior angel, so like an 8.5. But because I know they're so hard to keep because they just decide they're gonna get sick and die for fun on a weekend, I'm gonna drop it down to probably a 7.4 on the scale. So yeah, good fish though. This is a great meta, dude. This meta makes me happy. This is delightful. Thank you, Derry. I appreciate that. Thanks 200 bits, man. Thanks for that. That's very generous of you, bro. The core pattern is pretty, yeah. I am into fish. Yes, I do like fish keeping. If I had more space and I didn't live somewhere so small, I'd have something more than just that small aquarium up here with a bunch of white cloud minnows and Cory. Pygmy panda Corys. Coming from Draw Underwater City, gonna be working on it for weeks to draw all the fishes. Dude, could you imagine? Oh my god. You know, I always build aquariums in my Minecraft bases for Ella. I built her big aquariums so that she can stock with fish and stuff. I love aquariums, man. You know what? I kind of want to go to the aquarium store, the pet store, the big one. There's a big pet store in Calgary in the city. It's on the far side of the city of where, like, I'd have to go into the city and then go across the city to get to it. But it's where we would go when we started, like, our fish keeping hobby when we were younger. And I love going there just to look at all the fish. It's not even like I want to buy anything. Well, I want to buy stuff, but, you know. Chris, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. Honored to have you, my friend. Researching for the return to monkey meta. Okay, that's what it. Okay, got it. Got it. Understood. Nice. Sick. Yeah, I've kept a lot of fish. When I was at my mom's, I had my favorite aquarium that I had, which was a large tank of various freshwater fish, including 2 red-tailed black sharks, which aren't sharks, they're minnows. They're just called black sharks. They were so fun, man. They were so cute. I've always loved fish keeping. It's always been very happy for me. Relaxing, happy space. To have a nice green environment. I used to keep a small, like, 2-gallon betta tank on my desk. But I'm always so paranoid about those tanks leaking. You know, being on a desk that I get mad about something during stream and smack. Or whatever. So... it's one of those things that is like on my list of things that I want to do when I grow up and I become a famous artist is have enough time and money to be able to really get into the aquarium keeping hobby. I really want to make a super interesting underwater garden, you know, make a really beautiful kind of aquascape. I love that part of it too. I really love the aquascaping part of the hobby. So I love aquariums, man. I love going to see aquariums. I love seeing fish. It made the first time I ever went snorkeling so magical, man. My first trip to Maui that I was like gonna snorkel on, I had a goal of things I wanted to see under the water, like just sort of like in the wild, and I met all of it. My entire goal came true. I wanted to see an eel. I wanted to see it. Well, I wanted to see a particularly grumpy eel, a mischievous octopus, and a shark. And I saw all of those. The shark was less fun. Because tiger sharks are huge. And I didn't realize the tiger shark was huge. Alright, I live in Canada. We don't have tiger sharks. But I don't know if you knew, but I didn't know that tiger sharks could be as big as they were. So, there was that. The only thing I didn't see was any kind of a ray, though. I didn't see any kind of a wild ray. Saw turtles in the wild, in the water, swimming around. I saw my particularly grumpy eel. I saw my sneaky octopus. I followed a little octopus for a while in a reef out in a place called Molokini. That was fun. Saw lots of fish. It was an important moment for me as a human. I was very, very fulfilled that day. So, researching for the return to monkey. We used to go to some pet shops to look at the fish too. My dad had like a 50-gallon cichlid tank. That's cool. Cichlids are I appreciate cichlid keepers. But I don't think I'd ever keep cichlids because you can only keep cichlids with cichlids, and then it's hard to also keep a lot of like of a. It's very hard to keep any kind of like a aquascape with them. Cichlids will like fuck plants up. It's not as bad as like goldfish. Like goldfish will just ruin any plants in your tank. You can't have goldfish, and you can have cichlids with plants. It's hard. So respect anyone that does have like a very like deep aquascape with cichlids, you know. Oh, I forgore. The frame layer was on the same. Oh, okay. All right, we gotta match it. My opinion, I believe in sexualization equality. Both men and women get looted. Okay. All right. Yeah. Get it. Probably if I had a large like tropical tank, not a saltwater tank. Probably do something. Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know what kind of a community I would keep. It'd be fun to do like a big 50-gallon like sorority tank for like bettas or something. But I don't know. Man, I don't know. I'm just wishing I had time and money and space for all that. I really want, like, if I had room for a 20-gallon tank in my house, I would do a saltwater reef, a very small one. That's what I would do. I want to make his collar like kind of torn up and stuff as well. Like, he doesn't need to call. Nah, fuck this. This is too proper. What we're gonna do? We're gonna give him a wide. I want to show off his tattoos, right? Give him sort of a torn. Yeah. And he also show off how jacked he is. He gets into the gym. He picks up heavy things and puts them down and picks them up again. I'll do his cool ass neck tat. Hi, I'm my DM doing the Chosen One group where everyone is a part of Destiny, and I've acted like a main character in certain parts of my accident. Any advice on how to not act like a main character? Zombie, I would say if you don't want to act like a main character, don't want to steal the spotlight, I would say try and every time your group is doing something, try and be very present and you know, pay attention. And you want to see your friends being cool heroes, right? In your D&D group, you're all good friends in your crew. So just try and think about your other players. Try and think about how to make them shine, how to give them the spotlight. If they're trying to make a joke and they want to do something and they need someone to go along with it, go along with them. If they're trying to act tough, and back them up, you know? Being a supporting character in D&D is very fun, and it's a very rewarding experience. I love it more than I love playing as sort of a main heroic figure. So I would say just try and always be looking for opportunities to back your other party up, and they will do the same for you. And you got to remember that if you and your friends are all trying to make each other look like the hero of the story, then everyone has a good time. But if you're doing that for your friends and they're never doing that for you, I mean, find new friends. It's a good metric for it, I think. You know, it's like how to have a successful relationship with somebody. You know, if you and your girlfriend or boyfriend or spouse or whatever are always trying to focus on making the other person happy, then you always have somebody trying to focus all their energy on making you happy. And all you have to do in return is the exact same for them. And the best relationships, I think, work like that. And if they stop working, then, you know, I guess there's a problem you need to figure out. So I think D&D groups are the same thing. Always be focusing on trying to make your other party members the main character, the hero, the champion. Make them the ones that get all the glory, and they should be doing the same for you. And it's a beautiful thing when it all works out. How did Fish lead this topic? I think it was just the idiot cheering. Or to this? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I want an Axolotl tank, but I can barely take care of 2 children. Axolotls are cool, but yeah, I don't know. Any kind of amphibious creature, whatever, that has a tank that you need to clean in addition to a water change, whatever, like underwater stuff, seems like it's really difficult next. Like turtles or anything like that, you know? Your local aquarium store for that kind of hobby? We do. We have a number of them. We have one really big one. It's a bit of a drive, but you know, if you're not going there casually, it's fine. If you're going there like once in a while to get to buy fish or get materials or whatever, or food or supplies, then it's all right. But if you're going there all the time because you gotta, you know, get your food there or whatever, it's a bit of a pain. I remember there was 1 month where like, or 1 week, sorry, where Ella wanted to go there like almost every single night. She had just had eye surgery. And so every day, like through the afternoon, whatever, I was like hanging out with her, whatever. I like took time off of work. So I was basically like off with her the entire time. And I'm like, so what do you want to do today? And, you know, do you want to go out? Do you want to do something? You want to just like go somewhere else, get a change of pace or whatever? And every night she was like, can we go to the fish store? I'm like, sure. Sure, honey, we can go to the fish store. We can go look at the fishies. You know, and she'd buy like a new snail for one of her tanks or something, or, you know, I don't know. You're making a half-orc monk bard multi-class. Monk bards are really cool. That'd be interesting. Half-orc monk bard. Monks are great. I haven't played a monk in a long time. Bet that would work out, actually. Axolotl are non-amphibious. They're only water. They're water-only amphibians. I thought that axolotls wanted like rocks or something that stuck out of the aquarium for them to like bask on a rock or whatever. You know? You know, think of something else. But I thought that axolotls wanted that space or whatever to go waddle out of the water or whatever. Okay. Well, that makes it easier, I guess. Easier, I suppose. What do I want to do about this tattoo? Waddle underwater? Yeah, okay. Got it. Fair enough. Let's get... Select, modify, expand selection by 2, and we'll use our darker fill layer. There we go. Wait, why is it so dark? Oh, there we go. My brush is the problem, as usual. No biggie. I was worried for nothing. I'm definitely going to use this like some of the other ones from last week. I didn't really have a good idea of what if I wanted to use in my game, but like both these characters that Atari and Mel had requested, I'm going to use both of them in my campaign pretty soon. Might actually use one for Fishy next week. We shall see. I don't want to promise anything, obviously. Then again, maybe I shouldn't use art for that game, because I should keep that game super low production value, super scuffed, super whatever. I kind of resent the idea that people have this sort of concept of a right or wrong way to run a D&D game on stream. I think most people have a general idea that it's you're just kind of messing around, having fun. But like, I feel like there's a lot of advice or a lot of opinions I've heard from people that get like, you know, 12 to 100 viewers that think that they're the shit, and like if you don't run D&D that way, the way they do, that you're doing it wrong and whatever. Just like, sure, dog. You've cracked the code, right? You figured it out. You know the right and wrong way to do it. Not a way to do it. No. Well, I don't think they have the way of doing it. There's one specific thing required to run a good D&D game on stream, and everything else is... yeah. Obviously none of the people that I run with, but I was looking for some like advice and some information and like how to do this as far as the technical side goes. So I was looking up some YouTube videos. There's a lot of people who are like very, you know, well, as an expert on how to run a successful stream game, I go to their Twitch channel from their YouTube link, and it's like they get like 35 viewers. Like, Look, if the Critical Role production staff wants to say that there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, I'll listen. If other people want to say that here's a way to do it, I'll listen. When somebody tries to tell me that there's a right or wrong way to do it, it's like art. Imagine a mediocre painter telling you there's one way to do it. That's why as a mediocre painter, I always tell you a way to do it.
Visitors, how exciting.
You know, man? That's the way it goes. Roll together. Yo, what's up, guys? Thanks for the raid. What's going on? Good to see you. What is up? How was the stream? What's up? Yo. Get it here. What's going on, guys? Good to see you all. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it, guys. If you aren't following Roll Together, go over there, drop some love. Go say hi. Go say what's up. I don't know. Drop a heart in chat or whatever. Whatever you do in streams, bro. I'm not gonna micromanage how you chat in a stream, but just yeah. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. Either after stream or between art, I request your attention be drawn towards stream topics. Oh wait, for what? For what? If it's you, Aduria, I will jump on it immediately. Okay, we have Ashy's Ulnar Snick. We have Trogdor, the Burninator. Perhaps one of the first Green Dragon checks. Okay. Okay, yes, I feel the same way. Evan, when he unlocks Rich Mansion DLC, could you imagine, dude? Yo, those marine tanks, though, hey? Yo, that marine tank in the background, man. I don't know what the one in the front foreground. It's got some fake-ass plants and fake-ass coral and fake-ass shit. Get that fake-ass shit out of here. No, I want real plants and rocks and stuff. That's also... yeah, I'm good. If we finished my latest art piece, thank you for the bits, Ella. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Ella is not allowed to cheer bits anymore, so... you'll never see Ella cheer a bit in my chat ever again. It's done. It's over. I've defeated her. I have beaten her. At her own game. And now I will enjoy and bask in my peace. The peace I gain of Ella never cheering another bit in my chat. And we're not bringing back the Elladonna meta. I'll find you. Okay, cool ass tattoo. Let's give him something like claws. Pattern. Down across into the chest. Obviously, we're not going to spend too much time on a tattoo pattern for a quick sketch like this, but we're just going to draw some sort of amorphous ink rolling up into his scalp and down the neck. It's like we're gonna give him the type of tattoo you're allowed to get once you pass selection for Force Recon or Marsoc. Sorry. Like you gotta keep eating. It's like no beard, no tattoo, whatever. And then you pass selection. You're now in Marsoc, and it's like, oh shit, wait, that guy. That's not regulation street gang tattoo. Motherfucker, do I look regulation? That's what I thought. I kind of envision this guy using a pipe. You know? I envision this guy using a pipe, yeah. What fish would you put on your tank desk, Evan? In my tank desk? In the tank desk, I would probably have... If it was a big enough tank, I would have a snowflake eel. I'd have a large rock, like, you know, inhabitants for my snowflake eel, and I'd get a snowflake eel. I would, I'd do it. Yep. 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 A singular eel. Yeah, dude, have you seen snowflake eels? They're so cool. Snowflake eel. Look at him, man. Look at him. Look how cute he is. Look at how cool they are. They're only a couple $100. You need a decently sized tank, but they're not huge. It's not like a moray eel, right? Look at him. He comes out and he's like, "Hey, where's my food?" You know, look, he's chilling, man. He knows what's up, bro. He knows what's up. Right? Ready for in-person D&D? All right, have fun, Nix. Have fun tonight. You know way too much about my Marine Corps for a Canadian. What do you mean? It's common knowledge, dude. What do you... Everyone knows that obviously the Marines didn't want to be part of the Special Operations Command because they didn't want to be ordered around or bossed around by some fucking bullfrog seal ass looking guy. So they had their own, you know, they developed Force Recon for their own special operations and battlefield command and whatnot. They're like, we can do everything else. We have our own F-35s. We have our own programs. We can mobilize anywhere. We can go on any ship, do anything, whatever. You think we need to answer to you guys at SOCOM? Fuck out of here, McRaven. Like, we'll go get Bin Laden ourselves, motherfucker. You know? And they and you have like the Delta guys being like, "Hey, Marine, do you want to come join a team with a real budget and be a real operator?" And then goddamn, you know, Delta's out there being like, "Well, we don't even get missions after DevGru to, you know, started getting the limelight. Now it's the vogue thing to do if you're the Secretary of Defense to send DevGru after it instead of, you know, Delta's just go, we're gonna rescue some hostages." It's like, whatever. No, man, the Marsoc had to happen. All right, after like Ramadi and everything, all those badasses deserve to have the budget and training that comes with forming the Raider and recon, whatever. They can't just be part of their weird ass little team. They needed their own command, bro. Everyone knows about that shit. Very late to join in Special Operations Command because of that. Yeah, true though, right? Who doesn't know about this stuff? What do you mean I know too much about the Marine Corps for being a Canadian? Everyone understands the deep storied history of the founding of Marsoc. How could you not? Yeah, what? What you gonna read? You gonna read about Luttrell? That's who you're gonna read about? You know? You're gonna read about Marcus Luttrell and think that that's all that the United States has to give? You know? Nothing wrong with Marcus Luttrell, but you're gonna read about who are you gonna read about? You're gonna go watch Jocko Willink? You're gonna read Admiral William McRaven's book and think that's it? I think the Marines were just a fighting force used by the team guys. No, man. They deserved Marsoc long before they got it. And good for them, man. Honorary American. There's that. All right, great, cool. You know the U.S. Navy was explicitly created to combat pirates. I mean they combat a lot of things, man. They just need to. They need to fight privateers. They need to fight some pirates. They need to steal some shit from the French that they owed money to, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, man. You know those were privateers, not Navy." American Navy boats. My bad. Whoops. Sorry about that, you know. I told you, Atari, I got a lot of love for the forces, guys. I got a lot of love and respect for the men and women that keep our world safe. I've had family connected to that. I've had friends connected to that. You know? The fuck? Hold up. One sec. All right, sorry about that. Elle's paper shopping for me right now. So I'm sending things to people in the mail. I'm excited about it. Yep. That's where I'm at. All right. I think we have our street thug ruffian gang leader chilling out. A leader of a ruffian gang, basically a street level thug who's snarly and unpleasant. Well, I think we did it. I think we got there. There's a reason why a certain convention was enacted. Yeah, something like that. You know the U.S. Navy was... where was I? They take on color on the rainbow. They think the navy blue doesn't belong on the rainbow. Wait, what? They take on the colors of the rainbow that think the navy blue doesn't belong on the rainbow? I'm confused. I'm an expert in color theory and I don't understand. He certainly looks unpleasant. I mean, look, we're going for that. All right, let's quickly get our background thing in here. Do our background thing. Your average D&D 5e player. Oops. Why is there a pointy boy? Oh, because it's my fault. That'd be why. All right, fair enough. I'm gonna warm this one up quite a bit. There we go. Clean up a little bit. Dude, this was a lot of fun spending more time on them and doing like taking my time, not feeling rushed. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot. It was fun taking my time today, not feeling rushed and having to like get through like 3 or 4 or whatever. Because these are NPCs that we're gonna get to slap in my game at some point in time soon. All right, let's tweet them. I'm tweeting them. Oh, I gotta wait. I posted in the Discord. Listen, there's a decorum we must follow. First, I must. This is 05. Eyebrow color. Jesus Christ, thank you. Jesus Christ. Yep. I was like, don't forget the eyebrows. Don't forget the eyebrows. Don't forget the eyebrows. Thank you. Yep. You know why I say that I like to leave sketches for a night, like overnight, and then come back to them later? Stuff like this. Right? Or like this morning, I actually like realized that I had way too much space in between the bridge of her nose and the bottom of her nose, even though she's looking down slightly. It was like too much space, right? And so I had to correct these things this morning, you know? Jeez. Okay, we're good. Thank you for that. I'm always so anxious and nervous about doing this exactly, about posting things on, like, as soon as I finish them, you know? It's why I never do usually, but we kind of have to on Fridays. Okay. Number 5 for Atari. I'll do another one. Okay, or post it on Twitter. Oh, never open Twitter on stream. I've learned. Okay, it's fine. It's just NASA and the CEO of Twitch. We're fine. We're good. Okay. Boom! There it is, man. I'm back. Welcome back, Nico. USNavy does a ton of things, including fighting for a new blue on the rainbow. It's a joke. Didn't work. Okay, I'm sorry, Garth. Maybe my brain's just not operating in the right way. It needs to be. Sometimes the headspace is required to receive, and sometimes I'm not there. I'm just somewhere else. I'm just trying to survive. So, all right, man. Dude. That was fun. I'm much happier with and prouder of the sketches we got done today than I was last week. So definitely taking time for it is good. I'm glad I took more time for them. You know, I think I'll probably be able to squeeze out 3 in the future because it's only 3:20 right now. I don't want to start a third one because I don't want to be alive too long today. Because I think I need to rest up a little bit. I got real sick last night. At a real fucking bad time. So I woke up today, I slept in a little bit and still feel a little exhausted. So I think my energy reserves were ready for stream, and you know, stream's always my favorite part of the day, right? So I never want to miss stream even when I'm having, but I don't think I could push to do like a 5-hour stream to get another one done. At the end of the week, it's kind of tough anyway, like that. So, but hey, thank you for the ideas. Thank you for the character requests. I hope those of you who got them for Mel and Atari, and then last week Crimson, and forget who else got them last week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So there's a couple things that I'm not so sure that I like about the format of like having it either be a tweet on Twitter or a post on Discord. I am not enjoying there being this sense of people need to like drop the thing for the next week's thing to get like have a chance at it. Like I'd rather people who have like, what I might do is I might put something in the Discord guild hall that's like a requests channel, and people can drop a request in. And I don't know if this is a good, I mean, maybe someone has a better idea or can figure out why this is a bad idea or a good idea, let me know. But what I want to do is I want to put in the guild tavern sort of section a request channel for Friday character requests. And I want to have like, leave your requests in here, and then I will roll through the entirety of all the requests. I'll like random number generator all of them, and if there's it probably won't become unruly, because it's not like there could be more than like 100 requests in there at any given time. So I'll like count them out, I'll roll them out, and then you don't have to like keep dropping it in. And then if I do the request for somebody, then I will delete their message. And if you get your request done, then you can drop a new one in, I guess, and people can like get their stuff, and maybe I'll like at them the night before or something or some shit or whatever. I would like to, okay, ideally though, I would like to increase the speed in which I can do these character requests, so that I don't have to like do the pre stuff, the anatomy and the perspective and whatnot and blah 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 beforehand, like the night before. I'm still at a point where I'm a bad enough artist where I need to walk away from a piece, because I'll come back and realize I made mistakes in like proportions or perspectives or whatever, and I'll need to fix that then the next morning. It's why when I finish something on stream, I don't sign it and put it on Twitter right then and there. I'll come back the next day or a couple days later and fix some things off. So like when I finished Charlotte, the Astral Knight piece, it was a big deal. I finished it and people were excited and it was awesome, and everybody was like, oh my god, this is so sick, good job, Evan. And I was like, thanks, you guys are too nice. You were. I waited a couple days, and then I fixed like I spent another hour on that piece fixing things, fixing small, like, oh, I'm not like, that fold looks weird, or like, oh wait, the way her arm is pinching on the material there, it would be like pinching, the material would be pinching out or whatever. Dumb stuff like that I'm glad I didn't post it with it. I'm glad I took some time after to look at it again. So if I can get better and faster at what I'm doing and more confident and do it easy and practice up on Fridays like we've been doing, then ideally I would like to get to the point where I could start to finish it on Fridays, and you could bring your requests on Fridays, so we do it just like items, where I have people roll off whatever, and then it's also somebody's here, because I know it might feel like a little bit, it hasn't happened yet and I don't think it's an issue, but I could foresee that if it's like people who are like sort of in the periphery of the stream winning sketches but are never here, then the people who are always here could feel like, well, kind of feels bad, man. And so I am aware of that, and I am trying to fix it. I am trying to, you know, progress, but I need to get better. I need to get faster at these before, and more confident is most importantly, before I can do that. But it is on the list of things I would like to eventually move towards. So if that was a concern, you know, thanks for being here, Jacob. Appreciate you. Thanks for chilling. It sounds like a neat system. Also, not so much impromptu time pressure for us to come up with an idea, because I usually have ideas for after your stream and then forget to write them down. Yeah, so like they both have advantages, definitely. I just think maybe the thing that I liked about Friday requests, especially Arena, was always the excitement of it, of like, you know, I don't know who's gonna get it, they don't know who's gonna get it. We're kind of like experiencing that together, because I'm like really excited when I'm doing the rolls the night, like last night after D&D, I did the rolls to see who would win, and I was like really excited to see who would win, you know. And I like when we're all in that moment together. It's really fun, you know. It's like a fun guild event. So that's why I like to go back to it. But I understand why this does have some benefits. And then at that point, if I do move to just things on the day of and no longer taking requests from the Discord, then what I'd probably do is have the Discord requests still persist, and every week or every, you know, so often when I need to do a character sketch for our thing and I have like a free hour, I would just pick something from there and just surprise people and be like, hey, I did the thing that you asked for, you know. And then I could put that in the sub only. I probably will put it in the sub only section, just to keep it like contained, and then you don't get like sort of people who are wandering in and, you know, just like oh, free art, and they want free art, you know. That's like kind of feels bad if they're not like part of the guild or not like actually part of our which I'm not. Yeah, okay. I don't like wording it that way, because then it's like, oh, well, some people aren't part of our. I don't know how to word it. I think most people understand where I'm getting at, or where I'm going. So either way, glad to be back to playing D&D. I'm super excited and nervous for Tuesday. I'm trying not to be nervous, because I'm trying to remember that nobody expects really anything great out of me on Twitch when it comes to production quality or anything. So I got to figure out a format for Fishy and I to play on Tuesday, how it's going to work. And it might start off extremely scuffed, but that's the way it's going to be, man. I need to, the one thing I want to do beforehand, I'm not going to try and finish her art this weekend. I'm not going to try and, because I have to message 5 people about commissions. I have to message Guapo, Kitty, Steel, Ed. I thought one more person about a commission. Fuck, I forget. It's in my notes. I just mentioned about them plus a couple of other people. I have to message people about commissions. So I don't want to start anything. And obviously I'm still trying to get caught up in Patreon and whatnot. And my patrons been very understanding and whatever. They're amazing humans. But I'm not going to try and finish Runa this weekend. We have the sketch is good enough for now of Runa for Tuesday. But what I want to do is I want to create a title, like a title theme, like, you know, when you see like a new Star Wars show or like any kind of branding, like for a game title or whatever. I want to have 2 things. I want to have the Realms of Eldara and then have the name of the game under it. But I want to qualify it by having it's like this game is part of a series. So like Star Wars Legends, Knights of the Old Republic, something like that. And so I need to figure out like Chronicles of Eldara or like, you know, Tales of Eldara, like I need something like that, but I don't have a good word for it yet. Like a book of stories, like a chronicle, a saga, something. I don't know. I got to figure that out because my current game, my home game is called The Relics of the Eldari. So that's their current game. It's called The Relics of the Eldari. I need a name for this game. And I don't have one yet. And I want to have that in the title screen basically done so that I can have my starting soon screen for that on Tuesday as like that, you know? So, I don't know, man. You want to give value to people who sub? Nothing wrong with that. I do. But I it's like giving value to people who sub also feels like you're taking away value from people who don't sub. And I don't like that. You know? It's like, I want everyone to feel like they're included, but I also want to make sure that the subs are like, yeah, you're subbing. That's like a big deal, dude. That's a big deal to me. You know, so I want to make sure people who are subbed feel like there's something extra. So maybe I will lock the requests under subs. I think that's a good idea. You know, it's not a good idea for growth because one of the things that grew my stream the most over the last 2 years is a new person coming in on Friday realizing that they could get a sketch and like, cool. I'm gonna see what this place is all about, and then they you know find out people are pretty cool here, and they hang out with everyone in chat and learn about, you know, everyone's games, and we all talk about cool shit we like, and it's kind of fun for that. So I always wanted it to be like accessible for new people. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have that still like keep it so that you can get a request on stream once I'm good enough to do it fast enough on stream right then and there. And I'll do that, and then I'll also take requests from the request channel on Discord where everyone can basically drop a request. And I'll try and get to as many as I can. You know, you see the baby. The baby is unfortunately out, Nanoy. I'm sorry. She is out with Ella, I think. Yeah. I went downstairs and she wasn't there, and she's not here, which is her other bed. So I'm pretty sure Ella's out with her right now and doing something. I think she took her over to her mom's or something to play with her mom's dog for a little bit. So I have no puppy today for a while, so I apologize. This is why I don't have like a redeem or anything for like summon the Yuna or whatever, because I should though. I should have a summon the Yuna redeem if she's summonable. The one thing I don't know how to do, and none of my mods here are here to tell me if it's easy or not, but I don't know how to refund like channel point things. I don't have access to that from my side of the Twitch thing. So I need to ask my mods if it's gonna be easy enough for... It's easy, is it? Okay. Maybe I'll create a summon the Yuna. Like I have in one of the Twitch streams that I've watched for a long time, Lily Mario, she has this redeem in her channel. It's 1,000,000 channel points. Ooh, hold up. It's 1,000,000 channel points. And it... Wait! She took it away! It's gone! Where is it? Maybe okay. Well, it was to basically summon her cat. So I guess it's gone. I guess maybe she took it away for today because her cat's gone, or I don't know. I haven't been there in a while. So I could do like a summon Yuna. If she's summonable, then she'll summon. It's on mod view. There's a little menu. You can go see all the channel point redeems. Interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe we'll do that then. Think some changes to your channel and community grow. That's true. Yeah, it's true. I do want to have more built-in value for subs. I just don't know how to do it right now because there's a lot of stuff to do. Hopefully the adventure, when I release it to the subs in Discord, will be worth it. Hopefully you guys will find that fun. You know, I don't know. Either way, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for chilling today. Thanks for chilling, Oda. Thanks for chilling, Mel. Thanks, Blaze. Thanks, Anoy. Thanks, Jacob. Thank you guys. I appreciate all you. Thank you, Atari. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Take care of yourselves this weekend. I'll see you all on Tuesday for the official, very first ever streamed game on my channel. So no one can call me a non-legitimate Twitch streamer in the D&D category. I mean, they still will, but like, you know, they still be able to say, screw you guys, I play a D&D game. So I'll see you then. But until next time, my friends, take care of yourselves and farewell.